get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. It's donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. Guess what? Notre Dame's one away. Notre Dame's one away. That's it. They did what they needed to do. This day has been kind of wild. Some things you maybe expected, some things you maybe didn't expect. It ended up being a wild day in college football. Notre Dame's one way away, everybody. Like, I got to give them credit for getting into this position and fighting back from week 2. If you made me bet money on it in week 2, I don't think I would bet the money that we would run the table the way we looked, the way we played, the way it all felt, all of that stuff. I would have bet probably against us being able to do this and come all the way back. They've done it. So now you are one away, crystal clear view of what's in front of you, and you know exactly what you need to do. Look at all the other wild stuff going on in college football this weekend. Look at what Alabama's got going on. You got problems, man. Around the country here, Notre Dame did exactly what they need to do. Good job. You can nitpick stuff, and we will. Little stuff, big stuff in the playoff, whatever. You want to argue about the kicking game or whatever. I don't like it either. I have some thoughts on that. Like, you don't like some play calling there where you're all you're going to just run it into a pile on the goal line a million times. If those are our complaints on a day with this kind of carnage going around, you're in good shape. So everybody, welcome in. Well, happy to be here. Notre Dame did exactly what they wanted in a wild day. So it's beautiful to be a Notre Dame fan. They have come back, you guys, and now they're in position. One more game, and you are set. Look at this. Does Notre Dame win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy? Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the way this goes is Notre Dame's on upset alert all week. Upset alert, pump up Army, got to pump up Army. Notre Dame beats the brakes off Army, and now it's going to be they're not good. And why is Notre Dame playing them? Don't let them in the playoff. You know how it is, you guys. You know how it is. Pat's with us, and before I bring him in, callers loaded up. We're going to get Pat's thoughts, and I'm going to bring it right over. Always Irish Senior says, forget about this one. Get ready for SC. Always Irish Senior will not give me 5 minutes to enjoy this win, and he's already worried about USC. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. But I love where he's thinking. He's already thinking of the next one. Callers loaded up. We're going to go right to you. We're not going to make you wait long today. We want to hear from you guys. That's for sure. We're going to bring Pat in, get his opinion. Listen, you guys, this is the best Notre Dame could ask for. You had a great weekend. There's teams around you losing that are going to shape things and help Notre Dame position themselves better. You got a big win here. The defense is flying around. It's a beautiful thing. So it's a good day to be a Notre Dame fan. A couple super chats that we'll bring Pat in. Yeah, I want that Commander-in-Chief trophy. I definitely do. Look at this one. Ryan says, I've never seen a Jeter play that bad in Yankee Stadium. That's very, very funny. Notre Dame does have a place kicking problem. They have a field goal problem. Just as important as it is to know what you can trust and what you do have on your football team, it's equally important sometimes to know what you don't have and what you can't trust. And I don't think you could trust this. So if you need to start telling Mikey Denbrock, bro, you got 4 downs. We get across the 50 or wherever you would kick a field goal. No. You have 3rd and 4th down to get it first or get it in the end zone. He could scheme for that. He could plan for that. You could have 4 downs to play with. You may have to do that because this team has fought too hard to come back from week 2 to have the field goal unit ruin it. It can't happen, you guys. And the field goals are not close. You got 1 blocked. It's just they haven't been close at all. 4 of 10 since Jeter's injury. You can't trust it. The team's fought back too hard to fall off like that. $5 olive from Steven. Breaking news, we're pretty good. That's the thing, Steven. It's like, what else does Notre Dame have to do for any of us or anybody else to start believing they're a really good damn football team? What else do they got to do? They just keep winning, and they keep kicking people's heads in sideways. $2 olive from Omar. Looking happy, John, as always. Super handsome. Omar, I can always count on you, buddy. Next time I'm feeling depressed, I'm just going to call you and have you talk to me. V1 Rotate, $5 hour, blows out Navy. Wait till you play Army. Blows out Army. It's just Army. It's for real. It's the realest thing, man. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding at all. My lawyer in Michigan, $20 holler. ND looks superb against way overrated Army team. If ND stays focused, ND will crush USC. I'm telling you guys, man, this Notre Dame team it really does feel like, I think two things are true at once, and we'll see if Pat agrees. I'm going to get this out, and then we'll see if he agrees. Two things I think could be true at once. Notre Dame's playing their best football of the year, trending up towards the end of the season, and we're not playing the best opponents. I believe both of those could be true at the exact same time. That's literally where I think we're at here is Notre Dame's peaking and trending up, playing their best ball, and you're doing it against some bad opponents. I think both could be true. Rodney says it's getting real. It's absolutely getting real. Pat, welcome in. Let me get through these super chats, and then we'll bring you $2 from Jay Lamont, the Wells Lamont player of the game. We can win it all. We look amazing. Jay's in a good mood with the $2 holler. Rodney here. It's getting real. You guys, you kept waiting half the year, Pat, for the other shoe to drop on our heads, and it never happened, and they just kept winning, and then they took the crap out of everybody, and now you are one away from hosting a playoff. South Bend. There's a singular focus now, Pat. It's the light at the end of the tunnels in LA. It's right in front of you. What do you make of this?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that the shoe's not going to drop. You still have to go to Southern Cal, a program that has a history of ruining championship seasons for Notre Dame.
No. I mean the shoe drop up until this point.
No, that's totally fair. For sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they've done it. Not only have they done it, they've done it in convincing fashion. Did you see the stat today where they're like plus 258 or something like that in points against their opponents? I mean, they're blowing everybody out. So that was an impressive football team today. Down Pat in the chat had, I thought, the best comment, and it was the discipline in the defense today against all the stuff Army was trying to do. They played assignment football, but they played aggressive football. Like I was watching this game today, and I was thinking back to the last time I really saw a defense like this at Notre Dame that could play like this. And of course, my memory goes back to 2012.
Wow.
And this is such a better defense than that. That 2012 defense was nowhere near as fast.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as aggressive.
Yeah. And athletic, twitchy. You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This, I mean, man, when they hit, do they hit?
Yeah.
It's unreal how hard. And Irish and Blue Devil forever. That's right. Marcus wants violence.
I'm telling you.
And that is I'm there for that. And you want to nitpick. Like, I don't want people shouldn't be picking on Jeter too much. I don't think I think this is a Marcus Freeman thing. You shouldn't be having this kid kick if he's not 100%.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to figure something out to get any confidence, and it's just not working.
Right,
Everything they're trying is failing. But they tried two other guys last week, and the kicks were like me driving hung over on the first tee in the morning. And then today it wasn't close. What do you do?
I said at the end of last week, during the show last week after the game, that you don't need a kicker this game, and I don't think you're going to need a kicker next game. Like, if Jeter could just kick extra points, that's fine.
No kidding. People are saying he's hurt. Yeah, obviously we know he's hurt. That's the whole point.
He's hurt.
But the question either go in or they don't. It doesn't matter why. Everybody knows he's hurt. But
the question I have about like Jeter,
this, and then I say it doesn't matter. He's missing because he's hurt. You got to do something different.
Right. He's. They say he's getting better. They say his range is getting a little longer. He's got to get. He's got to get into his groove. I mean, at the beginning of the year, he was a fantastic kicker. So I'm not like we got to get him back, and he's going to have time. You think he's going to have 4, 5,
he's gonna have like 3 weeks or something? Yeah. So Yeah, I'm with you. Get into the break, and then maybe we could totally reset all that stuff. He gets healthier, and we wipe the slate clean coming out of the 3 weeks.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You just got to get through next week, and so I'm not going to worry about it. The one question I have, so this is the first time I've actually heard it. I've never heard a comment in Freeman's press conference. I've never heard a comment during a broadcast. I've never heard anybody in Notre Dame media say it's a groin injury. Now we know because they said in the broadcast tonight, it's a groin injury. And so the question I have is, because in the broadcast, they say he had his groin taped. Who the hell is taping his groin? What kind of job is that?
I thought that too when they announced it. I was like, I wonder how this tape job works exactly. Yeah, I was wondering that too when they said they had his groin all taped up. I was wondering that too. I'm like, from around the side of the whole leg.
Yeah, right. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but that one, I was like, his groin is taped?
Yeah, yeah.
Even I was sitting there watching it with my 11-year-old daughter, and she looked at me and goes, "What?" I go, "I don't know.
I don't know, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know." Yeah. So I don't know, man. So listen, though, Pat. If that does upset you, but if they could get through next week, then they're going to have some time to be able to figure it out longer term. Yeah. That's fine. Maybe he gets healthier, whatever. Another complaint in this game, a couple of the penalties you don't like seeing. That's just clean that up.
Better this week. Did you see how happy they were when that touchdown didn't get called back and it was hands to the face?
Yeah.
The sideline blew up. They went crazy because they thought it was coming back again, and it turned out to be an Army penalty, which, by the way, was not an Army penalty. That he did not have hands to the face. He clearly had the shoulder pad up here.
Yeah.
Obviously, the goal line stand, that was stupid. That was like, you are so much faster than Army. They are stacking the box inside.
Yeah, you don't need to go north-south.
You don't need to
be there. Beat them to every edge. Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what they did. They beat him to the edge. You had one player beat him to the edge. You didn't even block for it. And you had Price beat him to the edge. Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to call out that really, really pissed me off. The chop block on Army was at Price's touchdown. Notre Dame should have had a holding penalty on that one. That guy ran right through the center and he grabbed him, pulled him backwards. But the one that got me was the roughing the passer on the linebacker Kaiser.
Yeah. What do you want him to do? He's not allowed to land.
I know why they call it, because he drove him into the ground. That is the most textbook tackle you can make in football. He hit him in the shoulder. His head was in the shoulder. His head was turned, so it wasn't a spear contact. And he just ran through him. How is that a penalty? This is where they make football intolerable. Like, I can't watch it when you call that kind of bullshit penalty.
And it used to be about not doing the head thing or whatever, and then you find a way to not do that, and you're still getting nailed. That
was such BS. Otherwise, a well played game by Notre Dame. Very happy with it.
Yep. And I'm telling you that's my feeling of all this is for once in a long time, Notre Dame's trending up at the right time, and I think it's against some poor opponents, and I'm not going to act like it isn't, but you are trending up. A couple shout outs in the chat while we were doing this. Dr. John, you and your daughters, I hope you guys are having a couple drinks, enjoying yourself tonight. I'm sure you are. Nick Shepkowski's here. He's writing articles, keeping tabs on the chat, and he knows I'll get writing as soon as we're done here. It looks like something bad happened to Alabama. Something else bad. They had another.
They picked off Milrow again.
Man. So listen, you guys, chaos is happening everywhere, and Notre Dame just keeps winning. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. You got to feel pretty good if you're a Notre Dame fan tonight. It is a beautiful thing, and you're gonna. It's one thing to have Notre Dame do all this, and it's another thing to have all these other cards folding and things falling out of order here, all over, up and down this 12-team ranking. It's going to be really, really interesting. A couple more chats or super chats, and then we'll give it right to the callers. We got Chicago's very own Tom Frowley's going to lead us off. What a beautiful man to lead us off on the college show tonight. Oh, this is beautiful. That $2 holler says we could beat anybody. Homer TD, $5 holler. Wow, go Irish. Yeah, Homer. This is it wasn't close. R Mendoza, $5 holler. What's up, fellas? Love is special. Faison getting healthy. Go Irish. It does feel like for as many injuries as Notre Dame had earlier in the year and all these struggles and everything we talk about, man, guys are playing good and stepping up. $5 holler. Kid, you didn't even have cross today. Look what you did. $5 holler from KD. Oh, baby, to live and die in LA. I got that Tupac song on my mind. It's just, it's sitting right there. And it literally all comes down to LA living, and we're not going out against them. Pat, do you have anything else before we turn it over and see what the callers got?
I'm sure we'll hit it at the end too, but this is such a good weekend for Notre Dame. Having Bama lose, having Ole Miss lose, Colorado lose, BYU lose. Those are Penn State look like shit to Minnesota.
Yep.
What a great
Indiana,
weekend for Notre Dame.
What do you think happens to Indiana now? You know, they're like Penn State, where they had one shot and against one good team to do something, and they absolutely blew it, man.
You know what? I would have said Penn State was out. I would have said Indiana was out.
But they're going to stay in now because these teams are out that have lost the SEC.
Right, these teams are out. So I think Indiana stays in it. I think you're looking at like a Notre Dame, and an all Indiana matchup coming up in the playoff. But man, who knows? Because Tennessee's going to come in, but that's only one spot.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's just good to win.
I love you guys coming after the drapes, just so everyone's clear. I hate these freaking drapes. All right, these came with the house when we bought it. I have tried to change it.
But did the curtains match them?
The wife will not let me change them.
Those you need to accidentally light them on fire or something. You need to do so, or maybe I'll come over and spill something on them. I'll come over and do something. We'll do something. We'll figure out something. Maybe I'll accidentally do a Chris Sale and cut them all up like he did with the jersey. He didn't like the locker room. I don't know what happened. He cut them all up because he didn't like the jerseys.
But
I'm glad people
keep coming with the donations. Keep coming with the donations to change them. I appreciate that.
Listen, anytime the debate and people are nailing your curtains instead of how Notre Dame's playing, that means we're having a good night.
That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. So far, my hair, my drapes. I think someone said I look fat again. So it's Notre Dame clearly did well, folks, when you're coming after me. All right.
You did look skinnier back in the summer. I think you were getting tan. You were golfing a lot. I think you were.
Yeah. I'm at a lower weight now than I was during the summer, but
there you go. All right. Let's see what Tom has. If you're on the air, you're going to be on the line. We're going to get through everybody.
You mean if you're on the line, you're going to be on the air?
Yeah. If you're on the line, you're going to be fine. 773, and we're going to go through everybody. This is a little different than the daytime shows in the morning. We want to keep it moving, give more people a shot. So if you want to get to your points, Chicago's very own Tom Frawley, he was the one that was giving us the breakdown on the game and what we needed to do. Tom, what a good day for Notre Dame football.
Yeah, except for, you know what? Now here, it's not all Mitch Jeter's fault. This is the third game where somebody has jumped over our snapper and blocked the kick. It happened against NIU twice. It happened
should be a penalty.
Louisville game, and it happened tonight. Now, I mean, my God, how do you do that? He's an endomorph, for God's sake. Reno Montefiore. He's 5'7". Go look at the picture of him on the Notre Dame roster. He looks like he should be making pizzas on the south side of Chicago instead of being a long snapper, for Christ's sake. Where did he find this kid?
He's an endomorph. You sound like a scientist.
He is. He's 5'7", 200 pounds. I understand. But anybody with any athletic ability, you take a linebacker, you jump right over him, and that's what the Army kids did. Yeah. Anybody that scouts that, and I think to myself, wait a second, how could this be an oversight now with Marty Biaggi and Freeman? I lay a lot of blame at Freeman's feet. He's got to tighten that stuff up.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it. How you are a Division I University of Notre Dame football team, and you got a long snapper that's 5'7".
Well, maybe. Well, but wait. Maybe they think the size doesn't matter because you're technically not supposed to be able to jump over them. So they're not worried about the guy being big. They're more worried about just
have enough athletic ability to stop the guys afterwards. Most guys. I used to do long snapping, and you get right up right away. He's not tall enough. I mean, my God, that's the guy that's, he's suing the city of South Bend, too. You know that, right? The long snapper.
Where's this headed?
Did you hear that? He's suing the city for South Bend for building the sidewalks too close to his ass.
I knew there was something coming. Tom, I can't believe this is what you're worked up about. I'm a little surprised. I thought this was going to be you bragging about that defense and how they were cracking that quarterback. You're going to be sore tomorrow. But here you are going off on the long snapper.
Yeah, but it's just, little things mean a lot. I mean, granted, that defense is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's the best one I've seen in probably since 1977, all the way around. And that's saying a lot. It's better than 88's defense. And you can't overlook that. But we get in, like Pat said earlier, we get into a tight ball game in the playoffs where we're going to need a field goal kicker. God, I hope they can sort that stuff out. And I don't know, is it a groin or is it his hip? I thought it was his hip.
I thought it was his hip, but on the broadcast they said it's his groin. The only thing I wonder about is his trajectory too low coming out? Because before this injury, he was getting that ball high in the air. This was never an issue. So I'm thinking because of this injury, he can't get down and through it.
This is annoying. I am annoyed that we're entering the final game of the year, and this is like the main problem. I think it's probably a good sign that this is what I think it's a good sign that this is what we're worried about, but it's annoying to me that you're into week 12, and that's what it's bothersome.
John, you're so right. Compared to the night listening to this show on the way home from an NIU game and how depressed I was, compared to I'll take it. I get it. But this is a little weird.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what to think. Once they said that they were taping his groin, I didn't know what they were doing. And I don't know, man, but you got to figure it out. If you could get through next week with a victory, then you have a few weeks to be able to let him heal or figure out if you're just going to have to go for it every third and fourth down to get a first or a score. I don't know, but it's really annoying that this is where that whole operation's at entering week 12. But I don't know what you do. Injury's injury. I don't know what to do. He's injured. I'm not blaming anybody for the injury, but it either goes in or it doesn't. It doesn't matter why. It either goes. People keep on Twitter. Oh, he's injured. Well, fine, but it either goes in or not.
It's painful, John. Look, he looked great on all the extra points but one, and still got that through. So it's got to be mental. On his part and the trajectory, they're going to have to figure it out. But like I said, I mean, hopefully it doesn't. We're not going to need him very much next week either.
Tom, what about that defense, though? What about that defense? Man, our guys are flying around, aren't they? They fly around with confidence. They're all over, man. They cover ground.
Oh, and they get there with a bad attitude too, which I really like.
Oh, and yes, they do.
They never walk. They never celebrate on top of another player. It's fundamental, clean, hard-nosed football, and you can't beat it. So God bless him for that. I mean, with Al Golden, I hope he sticks around for another couple of years. But it's just so great. And again, I will say this, Marcus Freeman, hats off to you for getting those types of players. That is they look different on defense. Yeah,
they really do.
And that's what tells me that they can play with almost anybody in the country. I don't know. I watched the games today. It's hard to decipher. You saw what Ohio State did to Indiana, but really, I mean, I think we would have put a beating on Indiana tonight. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just look at the carnage that happened around college football in those top 12 rankings alone today. Maybe it's time to say, who cares what anybody thinks about the schedule at this point or anything else? Win one more game, and then you got as good of a shot to win it as anybody else. Bring your good defense every week, and you can play with any of these teams and worry about your offense or the kicker or anything else on top of that. But bring this defense to the ballpark with that energy every day. And this team can play with any of these teams in the top 12. They can play with them. I hope.
I was glad to see too Jaden Greathouse make the couple of nice catches early on this tonight, and I'm glad his shoulder's okay because we're going to need him down the stretch. It seems that they're running sharper routes on offense too. I picked up on that tonight. So, like you said at the top of the show, they're starting to gel right at the right time, and just clean up the kicking. I think they'll be able to do that by the time the playoff game comes around.
Hey,
so
I'm not getting ahead of myself, Tom. Here's what I need.
You go into a little mini camp for 3 weeks, right?
Yep.
I know, but I don't want to overlook next week yet either. So, Tom, what I need you to do is I need you to get back to us with the official scouting report for USC the way you did for this one in a couple days.
Yeah, I've got the game on right now. I'm watching them. So, all right, guys. God bless. Hey,
Tom.
Go Irish and have a great week. Nice talking to you, Pat. Nice talking to you, John.
Love you, Tom.
Pleasure,
Chicago's very own Tom Frawley. That man loves himself some Irish football. Mike Goolsby in the chat. The groin is connected to the hip. I don't know. I don't want to know who did that tape job and what they did to make it all connect.
Hey, somebody asked Goolsby if he's still here. Did he ever have to get his groin taped? And how does that work?
Maybe by choice, not by necessity. I don't know.
I remember in high school. I can't believe I'm going to tell this story. Maybe I shouldn't. In high school, we had a very attractive female trainer. So, like, groin
everybody
pulls
had an upper thigh injury or what? Jesus, you guys are bad, man. You guys are bad. $2 olive for Brendan. We have a real problem kicking. I'm worried. I'm telling you, man. It is. It's got to get fixed. 386. You're in the mix. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. 386. What's going on?
What's going on, fam? How we doing?
Doing fantastic. Really, really good day for Notre Dame football. Not only just in what we did, but what happened around the country. Really, really terrific day for Notre Dame. We are trending up at the right time, my friend. What do you make of it?
Well, as we have been saying since week 2, you keep playing football and you keep playing Notre Dame football, and it's onward to victories. And chaos ensues. Week by week, there's big teams that don't look good. They end up losing. We're still winning.
That's for sure, man. Not only were we winning, but we're kicking the crap out of people. Tell me if you agree with this. Where I think this team is you are trending up, playing your best football to end the year, and you're playing some teams that have not been that great. I think they're not mutually exclusive. I think both of those things are true at the same time. I think it's both. I don't think it's one or the other. And I think that's fine. And you're going to get to prove it next week because you're going to play a team that actually has some talent on it that'll beat you if you mess around. And we're going to see. But I think this defense, they're so just tuned in. That defense seems like they're just locked in. And I love it.
It was from play one. Tonight. And that's where it started from. I saw that first drive and got the 3 and out. I said, okay, we're ready to play some football. You could tell
when they got to 3 and out, scored a touchdown.
Credit to Freeman, credit to the players, credit to everybody.
Yep, exactly. So really, really good job. And it's one thing to have us do this, but it's also to see the carnage around the country. Like I haven't even thought about where we might end up in the rankings Tuesday or what those new matchups might look like. I don't know, but all of this chaos and you just keep winning. You just keep winning. Look at this. I'm getting accused of not liking our military. I'm saying it's disrespectful. I'm wearing a chain flexing on Army. Like, can a guy ever just be happy for a few minutes?
Go away, I breed.
Notre Dame fans can never. Nope.
Well, now wait a second. Now wait. 386.
No. I know what you're going to say. That it's different for Notre Dame fans that love them. It's different. If you love them, you know the feeling. If you don't know the feeling. Yeah. That's the difference.
Well, what do you think about this
right
too?
Now,
how much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet the argument's going to be all day and on game day and on Twitter? Everybody was tuned up to watch Army beat Notre Dame and they're on upset alert and everything. And then once Notre Dame wins, it's like, it's just a military academy. They're no good anyways. Like Notre Dame can't win, man. Like with these fan haters, You just can't win. They're on upset alert. Everybody couldn't wait for it. And then once we destroyed them, we knew they were no good. Why is Notre Dame playing them anyways? It's because Miami backed out of our game, by the way. There's an answer to that. But
I forgot about
but it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't matter anymore, man.
Right.
You got one more game to win, and you're hosting a playoff game in South Bend, and you have come too damn far to drop the ball in LA against that Trojan team. I know they have talent, but they are not zoned in the way this team seems to be right now. Where Notre Dame's playing good football.
Oh, goodness gracious. You're spot on, John. You're spot on. USC really has, I'm sorry, not USC. Southern Cal has nothing prepared for us. They have no idea what's going to happen next week. We're coming in. We're going to take over LA, just like we took over New York, just like we took over Georgia. That's obviously.
You know what, man?
Georgia Tech,
you know what? I
think what I'm talking about.
I think that's actually very, very interesting. I want to know what's that fan blend going to be like in LA? They're playing for nothing. They're going to have 5 losses probably or whatever. And then Notre Dame's going out there with everything in the world to play for. I wonder how many people that are on the West Coast are going to make a trip to that dump to see Notre Dame hopefully clinch this thing. I'm having those memories of like 2012, man. I just remember that road trip to LA, and we had to win it to lock it in and everything. Like, I'm getting a lot of the defense was leading the way then, and the offense was just kind of getting by a little bit. It feels a lot like that.
It does. And you know what it feels like too? Remember when we made it into the playoffs and Tony Jones took that screen pass, and that was the play to seal the Irish bid into the playoffs. Well, it's a flashback memory to that, and here we are. We're going into the Coliseum. We're the better team. We're going to dominate.
And you got everything to play for. You have everything in the world to play for. It is. Listen, they could be motivated only to ruin our season and all that bull crap. I don't care. Ronald McDonald saying, John, who have we played? Whatever, dude. I don't know, man. Make me some chicken nuggets and a McFlurry. Ronald. I just said, Ronald, 2 things are true at the same time. We're really good at football, trending up, and we're playing some teams that are not that great. Both can be true at the same time. They don't have to be one or the other, and the other doesn't apply. That's my stance, and I'm sticking to it this evening.
Yep.
Anything else, my friend? Thanks for calling for Florida. Represent us down there.
Dude, I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank Irish Nation. Keep giving this team energy. That's what's brought us to this point. If you ask anybody in this fan base or country if we were to get to this point, they would have denied it, and they would not have said that we were going to get to this spot. So here we are. Let's take advantage of it, and let's play some football. That's what we've done since week 2.
I love it, man. I love it.
Hey, guys.
Thanks a lot. Love you too. Hey, tell your family we said hello, man. You guys represent us down there, the whole group, man. You guys have a good night. Celebrate it.
We rep it every day, all day. Go Irish.
Go Irish. Have a good one. Nikki Dean loves to be heard and seen. Our defense will win against USC, and then at least 1 playoff game, and I think maybe 3. Listen, one thing at a time. I am worried about this defense playing with this focus level, stopping USC. That is my singular focus right now. If they made a calculated decision to hold Howard Cross, they could have pushed him to play, figuring they may not have necessarily needed him to beat Army, but you don't want to act like that. But to get him healthier, to be able to go to USC, I'm totally fine with that. If that's what they did and that was a plan, I'm totally fine with it, but I need that defense to play. They seem like they're tuned, Pat. I'm picturing them like a guitar. They're just like finely tuned. They're so focused. They're just playing really, really good football, and I love it.
Solid football. The defense is so sharp. I love to watch it play. You know what it reminds me of? I was talking about the 2012 team. It reminds me of the Brian Urlacher Bears, where I'm not a Bears fan. I hate the McCaskey family, but growing up in Chicago, that's what you watch. I would tune into a Bears game just to watch the defense play. And then when Cade McNown or whoever BS quarterback they ran out there, Rex Grossman, I'd shut it off. I was just there to watch the defense play, and that's what this defense is like. It's just,
Yeah.
it's fun to watch.
Yeah. What do you want to debate me about, Mike? You could call in if you want. What do you want to debate me on?
Mike, I think you know his phone number.
Is it the groin taping or something? Or is he going to say that we're not playing good teams or whatever? If you want to call Mike. I'll put you up. You know that. If you're feeling it. Rodney, what's going on, buddy? 818. Thanks for the donation, buddy. What's going on? Rodney. I don't know where you went, Rodney. Give me a call back. Unless it's some with my phones, we'll find out. 270.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on? Thanks for giving me a call. Notre Dame wins. Carnage around the country. What's not to like?
All right. So I just wanted to say that my wife called in twice. This is her husband, and that I'm a Notre Dame fan through and through, and I just want to say that go Irish. They're freaking great. Their defense is awesome.
Yeah, man, the defense is awesome. Yeah, for sure. They're playing great defense. They're locked in, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. They're locked in. They're playing good football, and you got one more to go.
Yeah. What do you think about the what was it? The Ohio State game? Because I had to go to work.
I would like to see if everything else held true where Indiana would have fallen. But now that these SEC teams with a couple losses are catching another one, I think that Indiana's safe. They're just going to drop down. But they had a big chance today, and their special teams let them down. And they made a bunch of huge mistakes. You're not going to beat a good team like that doing that.
Right. And Love was awesome.
He's the best athlete. Dude, he's the best athlete on the field every time, man. Is he not? Like, he just it jumps off the field how athletic that guy is. It's really incredible. He's a terrific athlete.
And Riley Leonard, I think he passed great. I really do.
He had a good day through the air today. I think it was easy for our guys to get open. He had a good day through the air. But his control of this offense, he's continued to get more and more confident and comfortable running the operation, and they're doing a good job right now.
Yeah. But I just wanted to call in and say, go Irish, and that, we have one more team to beat.
Yep.
One more.
Yep, we got one more. Hey, thanks for giving me a call. And tell
that defense.
Oh yeah,
we got it.
I feel like that too. That defense going to lead the way. Tell the wife I said hello, and she could call me after the next game. Have a good one.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yep, take care. Pat, do you remember that? She was the one who was like, she was the one with the little accent, and she was like, my husband locked me out of the house because I'm talking to you, John. You don't remember?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you can't forget it. She was literally like, my husband kicked me out of the house, and she had that little accent. They're from Kentucky. That's why I remembered it. It was awesome. $5 hour for Ryan Elliott. Thank you very much. Ryan donates a lot without putting a comment, and it's very thoughtful, but most people want to get something in. Make fun of me, do something. You don't have to, but I want you to get the most out of that $5 holler. $10 holler from Adam Dowling. Beat SC. Let's go. Adam Dowling. Oh, baby. I'm going to tell you, Pat, you know who's going to be warm and cozy if there's a home playoff game in Notre Dame Stadium? The Dowlings, baby. Going to be
they will be.
Private suite under the heater.
I'm still waiting for that phone call, Adam Dowling.
Oh, man. It's going to be nice. The Dowlings are moving up
upstairs.
The Dowlings are moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Mike Goolsby, is this you?
Yes, sir. What's up, John?
What's going on, buddy? Hey, thanks for giving me a call. Big Notre Dame win and carnage everywhere else in the country. What do you make of it?
Oh, what a year of college football! But tonight, I don't know where to start, John. I don't know if we want to talk about tape and groin. But we want to talk about this debate.
Dude, I just didn't understand the whole groin taping thing. I couldn't have been the only one who took a second and thought, wait a second, how does that work?
Oh, you guys got to grow up. Come on, Pat.
Oh,
You can tape a groin. You get a high groin strain. The higher the groin strain, the worse it is. You can lift some stuff up. You can move some real estate around. You can tape a groin.
oh man. I mean, I'm too immature to let that go. I'm sorry.
It's not in my
Too
wheelhouse.
immature.
No, yeah, you don't want to miss an opportunity. But no, yeah, I'm with you, Pat, in terms of like if the kid's hurt, if Jeter's hurt, just put him on the shelf for a couple, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
and let him heal up. I mean, we got to
let him stretch his groin in practice.
Yeah, it's
shut it down.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's very, very clear Freeman is pressing because he wants everybody to gain some confidence back there. And he's trying to do it. It's just not happening. It's just not working.
Yeah, it feels like it's the one kind of, boogeyman or bugaboo or whatever it is. Like, it's like, ooh, if there's one thing that I'm worried about, like truly worried about, it's that kicking game.
It's not a big deal until it's the biggest deal in the world. And none of our games have been close. Exactly. None of our games have been close. You've been able to really add it at the back end of your notes for a show or an article or whatever. It's not a big deal until it becomes the main thing, and it just can't be. If you could get through USC, then you have a few weeks to be able to either get him healthy or figure out something else you're comfortable with. But it's an ongoing concern. So what do you disagree with me on, though?
Well, dude, to both of you, Pat and John alike, I want to be respectful to the other callers and all this, but it's like the team is playing so well, and the offense can be a little dysfunctional, and it's a little bit limited, but all of the things, right? And the defense is playing, I mean, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are just beating the brakes off of everybody. And we're reduced to like talking about the kicking game. Like that's how good things are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my beef with you, John, in particular was on one hand, and we'll sort it out. I got fired up last Monday talking about, the fan reaction or the level of the fan belief, right? I mean, things are pretty freaking sweet right now.
Yeah.
And we still have these questions, and I understand the emotional baggage totally. But John, on one hand, you're like, hey, Miami backed out of the game. The schedule isn't our fault. Florida State was undefeated last year. Louisville's a hell of a team, et cetera, right? But on the other hand, you're like, well, we haven't played anybody. So, like, to me, I'm like, brother, pick a lane.
Those lanes are complete. No, wait.
I'm more like, go ahead, John, sorry.
My lane is crystal clear. There's no contradiction at all with what I said. Both things are true, right? We're playing really, really good football against the teams we're playing. But I got to add that qualifier in, Mike, because if I don't, and I just come in here saying Notre Dame's playing great, and I don't acknowledge that the teams we're beating the brakes off of are not that good, every single chat in here would be like, John, you got to understand who we're playing, or you're going to be able to do it against a good team. I'm trying to get ahead of that talking point by saying I think it's both. I think they're trending. We're trending up in late November, which is really important. And you're just beating some teams that are not that great. I don't think I'm contradictory. I think both those things are true.
We can sort out the particulars later, but I'll leave you with this because I want to be respectful to the other callers. We're going to wake up. What is it? Monday. We're going to wake up Monday and be the 4th ranked team in the country.
Ooh.
Right. Knocking on the door of a playoff. And then our fan base is somehow like, hitting that rev limiter of their excitement or whatever it is. And I'm just pleading with everybody. As I said Monday night, I'm like, the fans should be pushing the team with that energy, like push that team versus waiting for the team to pull them. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like that's coming from that, it's coming from an ex-player captain, all that stuff.
Well, now wait a second here. Especially now that you're at the end of this, Mike, there is no reason for anybody not to be buying in and going crazy. You're not 2 weeks removed from Northern with that fresh wound. You're at the end of the tunnel. How can people not be excited, Bill, Mike? If you like Notre Dame, this is it. You have one game and you're hosting a playoff game. It's history at Notre Dame. How could anybody not be excited this week? This week should be the most exciting anybody ever is. It's got to be a huge week in Notre Dame land.
I'll tell you, it was USC week last year. I remember we put an offer in on this house. And we were like, remember how excited when we knocked off USC? It was a freaking party. Like,
yeah,
it was genuinely a great moment, right? And we are so much better now than we were then.
Agree.
And the last point is, we're all going to watch the gosh darn game. We're all going to watch the USC game. So why not go into that game fired up and optimistic and excited? John, I'm out of here.
Appreciate you giving me a call, Mike. Thanks a lot for joining me, and we'll break it all down. We'll break it all down Monday Night Raw live.
Get fired up, dude. Let's get fired
Mike, I think you're going to get it this week. You're going to get it this week. I'm going to give our fan base a chance. If everybody's not geeked to the gills this week, I don't know why you even follow Notre Dame, man. You're one win away from the team we all hate, from your reaching all your goals. This fan base better be hyped the whole week. I'm expecting it.
And then, yeah. And there's 3-3 against UCLA. We're going to beat that team. I'm just telling you. If there was a year that you could pull it off, with the landscape of college football this year, all the 12-team playoff, this could be the year. And I think it's fun to consider it.
Ooh.
All right, John, I'll let you go.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. Really appreciate you. Have a good night, buddy. Man,
I don't disagree with what Goolsby's saying at all. I think that the one thing you need to look at is the fans are now just getting back into this team.
Yep.
The Northern Illinois loss was so devastating. A&M's going overtime, by the way, John.
Wind out of the sails, air out of the balloon, anything you want to say.
It was so devastating of a loss. It really buried your program in negativity from the fan side of it.
Yep.
And as Goolsby says, that noise doesn't matter to the players. It doesn't matter to the players. They know what their goal is and they focus on it and they move forward.
Yep.
So what I think he's calling for, he's going to get. We're at the precipice of a truly great football season, one that we haven't seen in almost 40 years. And so the excitement is there for it now. It has just taken this long to get fans to believe. As you said at the start of the show, the other shoe hasn't dropped. And now you're going into the last game of the year, and all you have to do is win to get into the playoff and possibly have a home game. And oh, by the way, you're playing your biggest rival. Yeah. I don't know how you're not up for this game. I don't know how the fans are not into this. So I kind of agree with both of you. That's a weird position to be in. Yeah. But it's like you came from such a low to get to such a high. You had to catch up to it. And I think we're doing it now.
I think that's very well stated, but he has been saying as this winning streak has continued and the defense is playing great and the offense started coming alive, he's been saying, why does it feel like we're not more engaged? Why does this fan base feel muted? Why am I not seeing all our people crap talking on Twitter? Like, and he's been bringing it up. Like, at what point do people believe back in on the Notre Dame side?
I think this is the point.
Now you're never going to.
Right. I think this is exactly. There are people who will never do it because they just don't like Marcus Freeman for whatever reason. Yeah. You're never going to get those people to come over.
They're always going to bet against him. Yeah.
Until he actually wins it all, they'll never get on board with him. Like Pat from West Palm wants him fired. Come on. But then you have the rest of this fan base. Look at this chat tonight. This chat after every game is like, oh, just wait till next week when they blow it. No, this chat tonight is fired up. You got people in here saying they don't know if Notre Dame can play anybody. Nobody's going to run the ball on Notre Dame. Nobody could throw like the comments in here. I think it's there. I think we have finally overcome it. NIU is long enough ago that it's and Notre Dame has done enough to this point that it's out of everyone's mind. And we are ready to go to Southern Cal, and we want to see what this team could do to Southern Cal. And I think it's a curb stomping. Personally, that's my opinion. But we'll get into that this week.
Chris Jones, $10 holler. Notre Dame is America's team from C. Jones' son. Oh, C. Jones' son. Thanks for the reference. And now I know who it is. C. Jones, who? $10 holler from Jose. John, I came to the game. We are officially the number 5 seed. I am 808. We're not officially anything until we win. We're not officially anything until we.
We're not officially anything. Like again, we've been talking about this week after week after week. They don't matter until they matter, and it's only going to matter at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's 808 with the donation. Let's get you. I know you're probably on the move somewhere. What's going on, 808?
Hey, Ian, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Good to hear from you again. Are you in New York? Are you in Honolulu? Where are you at this time?
I'm in New York. I'm waiting for the train now to go downtown.
Okay, so wait, you got to tell me, man, what was it like in Yankee Stadium? Did you feel the ghosts of the Four Horsemen? What was the vibe in the building?
I mean, I didn't think people were like that high just because like they didn't expect that much from Army. But like, I mean, that team was just so good. Honestly, like maybe at the beginning a little bit of frustration, but they're performing at such a high level that even though that they're not doing good, it's still like leagues ahead from what we're used to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's
like they don't perform, but their floor is higher than their ceiling.
Yeah, this team's rounding into form. They're playing good at the right time. What would you say the fan split was in the building? What was it, 50-50, 70-30? What did you think it was?
I think we were like 80% Notre Dame, and honestly, it was just like the big amount of like students that they have on their side.
Yeah.
But then like from normal people, I would say 90% Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's man, you're one game away, man. You're one away. What's on your mind as Notre Dame goes to USC? Are you going to go to that game too, since you're from out west in Hawaii? Are you going to be able to hit that?
Oh no, not that one, because I'm in school right now here close to New York. That's why I managed to make it to this one. So right now, like hopefully my mindset is I finish my school and then we make it to the 21st of December. So I wrote in my comment that we're official number 5 because, you know, when we're doing the rankings, you have to subtract 2 every time. But now Indiana is done. So I'm only going to subtract the 1 from Penn State because, like, even though they're, like, 4, somebody's going to kick them out.
Yeah, it's...
So, that's what I'm saying. We're 5, and at 5 we get to play like what Boise or like the weakest of the playoff team, and then we play the Big 12 teams, which honestly I don't understand who's the good one.
Listen, the number that's a good. I don't understand who's the good one. That was very well stated, my friend. The number 5 seed may be a jackpot. And so I don't know if that's going to happen or not for sure. We're going to have to wait and see. But it's exciting, man. This team is playing really, really good football, and you have one more game to win, and the full redemption is complete. And we're gonna see if we can do it. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for giving me a call. I'm glad you were out there for this.
Yeah, I mean, well, hopefully I see you guys the 21st, and we'll have football under the snow. That's all I want.
Oh man, it would be amazing. It'd be great. So I don't know what we're gonna get, but hey, touch base with me next week for USC. Big moment.
Yeah, and then I'm not going to be there. So hopefully, I wish we could get Georgia, honestly, in the snow, just so they can shut up that we are 0-3, because Uncle Luke is making fun of us, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
See you around.
Have a good one, man. Thanks for the call. I like that guy. I think he was a military man stationed in Hawaii, and then he goes to a couple Notre Dame games a year. A couple more of these chats, and I'll go get right back to the calls. Another $5 holler. John, total BS. It's a 2:30 CBS game. Are you talking about Notre Dame USC? So it's not going to be a night game next week. It's going to be a 2:30 start. No primetime is a joke, Adam's saying. 12 o'clock Pacific, terrible. I mean, I don't know what to make of it. Is the idea that travel is going to be harder on Notre Dame because you're getting out there and the game starts and it's a few hours earlier than what you think? I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Rodney, let's try you again. See what's going on. What do I got you?
Well, it's clearly Rodney.
Yep, Rodney, you're 0 for 2, man. That phone's kicking your butt tonight. It ain't mine. My stuff's working tonight for once. I don't know what's going on, Rodney. You're hitting a button. 630. You were on the line. What's going on?
Yo, this is Burks the Wolverine, the Michigan guy who once called you
Oh, man.
3 weeks back. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I know you're a little, I don't know how to read you because you're a Michigan fan, but you were kind of nice to Notre Dame and are you just in a good mood about Underwood, or are you going to say something about Notre Dame or what?
Oh yeah, no, I don't hate Notre Dame. Like I said, my mom's best friend lives in Notre Dame. It's just I'm getting so I need to call another fan base today. You know what I'm saying? They all hate me right now. But I feel like a recruiting expert. Like, do you know about the? Can I talk about the Derek Meadows recruitment or not? Do you know anything about it or not really?
I mean, as far as I understand, I would expect him to end up in Michigan. That's the latest that I've heard and seen, is that I would expect him to maybe follow and head over to Michigan. That'd be my expectation, but I don't know anything for sure.
Okay, I got you. And hey, listen, man, Notre Dame, they're looking at their defense, man, is looking really good. It's giving me Michigan vibes from last year. You know, Michigan's defense was so good last year. Don't you agree? Like, Notre Dame's defense has been actually killing it lately.
They seem extremely locked in. What I would ask you is, you're a unique caller because you're from the outside of the Notre Dame fan base. From the outside, I would like to know, what do you make of this Notre Dame football team? I'm genuinely interested in your perspective because you're not a blind Notre Dame hater, but you don't have Notre Dame emotions. So I want to know, what do you make of Notre Dame's chances?
Yeah, so Notre Dame, man, like I said, so at the end of the day, I think they can actually make it far because their defense is. And if you look at their whole entire schedule, even though they lost to NIU, they still played really good defense. You need to understand that they literally NIU put 16 points on them.
Yeah,
this is a game where Notre Dame's going to put 50 on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Notre Dame. You should win any game when you give up 16. Even though they made mistakes to give the 16 up, you should win any game when you only give up that amount. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they could actually go pretty far. Listen, you guys really need to beat USC. If Michigan could beat USC, you guys can beat USC. That's all you have left, man. I'm trying to root for you guys, and I'm not trying to talk shit or something like that. Because I truly feel that programs like Notre Dame, Michigan, stuff like that, man. When they're successful, it's good for college football. And I'm a Midwest guy, you know me. Right, I hate the SEC. I'm so happy Alabama lost and all these Southern schools. Screw them all, right? Screw them all. And I think I can see Notre Dame. I think I don't know about championship, but I can actually see them in the Final Four. But that's like I said, I may be wrong, right? If their defense is looking so good, if their defense plays like this, and Riley Leonard, he played really good today. If he plays elite, Riley Leonard, if he starts playing elite, they're going to win the championship.
Oh man, that's I do understand what you're saying about a little bit of symmetry to the way Michigan made their run, with playing your really good defense, having a solid running game in pass kind of when you need to, in a way. I do kind of see that. But man, you got one left, man. You got one left, and it is your hated rival out in that dump Coliseum in LA. I don't like those people that it's just it's a fake city. It's a fake state. I don't care for it. I don't like it. And I want Notre Dame to kick the crap out of them. That good defense, shut them down, smother them. And then we host a playoff game and everybody's cold and happy in South Bend. That's what I need, brother.
Bro, this is why I like you, man. It's we're both from the Midwest. But yeah, well, I agree, dude. Fuck the SC, really. Literally, it's a fake state. Fake everything, right?
It really is.
Program, bro.
It really is.
It really is, man. In the South, and the South thinks they're so much better than the Midwest football. No, Midwest football is real football, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's tough boy football.
Yeah. And so it's going to be interesting, man. And so I don't know, but I appreciate you calling as a Michigan fan. Anything on the way out? I'm just not used to a Michigan fan playing nice and being fair here. Anything on the way out? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah. You a big Notre Dame hockey fan? They're playing at Wrigley Field.
You know what? I do remember seeing that. I'm not a big hockey guy, but I know that's a really, really cool event. That'd be awesome to get for people to get to. That would be really cool.
Yeah, no, Michigan's also playing there too this January 3rd. So I was just curious, but that's all I got to say, man. Good luck to your team next week, and hopefully, you guys can maybe make a big run. But yeah,
dude, I appreciate you, man. I'm just not used. You got to understand my hesitancy to talk to a Michigan guy. I'm always waiting for like when something bad's gonna happen. But you're 2 for 2 on nice calls and nice chats. So I'm glad to have you around. I can't believe I'm saying it, but you're being fair. So welcome to the group, man. Glad to have you. Thank you.
yep. Take care, man.
Have a good one. Pat, I keep waiting for that guy to pull the plug and be a Michigan person, but he's being really nice. So apparently our game is an afternoon game, and people are mad about that.
Yeah, it should be a night game, but what are you gonna do?
If you just win it, you're not gonna care.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just there to win. I don't care what time it is. I do not care.
We the big bad wolf. Go Irish from Jay Lamont. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. 570. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
John, I can't believe you. I cannot believe you. You just want to be polite to a Michigan fan. No, we will never be. Where I'm from, we call them Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Because they wish they could beat us. We know we stomped Michigan. I get it. He's respectful, but you know what I'm saying? No, we don't. No, there ain't no Michigan love over here.
Listen, man. I'm trying. See, this is what I get when it's like, even my mother today was like, why are you fighting with so many people on the internet lately? And I had to explain to her the whole LSU beef and why I'm fighting with their media people and they hate me and all this. And then this is the thanks I get when I try and be nice and extend an olive branch. And a guy called my show and I'm nice to him. And this is what I get.
John, I got Notre Dame tattooed on my arm for a reason. This is deep. Michigan? You talking about Michigan? Oh, no. But I'm gonna get away from that point because F them. I'm not gonna curse on you.
Thank you.
But John, come on. But I thank the Lord. You know what? I'm going to church tomorrow, and I'm Catholic. Obviously, I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I'm gonna go to church tomorrow, and I'm gonna pray that we beat USC because if we beat USC for the first time in my life, I'm going to tell my parole officer that I'm going to have a beer when Notre Dame hosts their first playoff game. Literally. And I'm going to tell my PO that to his face.
Is that a violation? I don't want to have to bail you out here. It's not worth it. Is that a violation? It's
definitely a violation. What do you mean? Yeah, absolutely it's a violation. But you know what? My parole officer's full of shit. I got 8 years anyway. So you know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't make a difference. But Alabama, now y'all 8-3. Ole Miss, y'all are now 8-3. You lost to a terrible team.
Yeah.
I mean, and LSU, you struggled with Vandy. Brian Kelly. You left Notre Dame to go to, what was his big speech? Oh, I couldn't win at Notre Dame because I couldn't get the recruits. What is Marcus Freeman doing? And you know what? Shout out Marcus. Can we just shout out Marcus Freeman real quick? Like, shout out Marcus Freeman. Like, my man took that. And did you hear his post-game speech? That post-game speech, he said every game after the NIU game was a playoff game. So next week is a playoff game.
Yeah, it's true.
I am so proud to have Marcus Freeman as my head coach right now.
Yeah, and you know what, man?
You know what?
He's really, he's developed a lot this year. As his team has matured along this year, I feel like Marcus Freeman has as well. He seems way more confident and comfortable in everything he's doing and the way he's doing it. And I don't know if the players are leading it and he's feeling good riding it, or if he's directing it and they're following his lead. I don't know, chicken or the egg there, but I just feel like him and the team are both maturing very well. And it's great to see, man. They're on a roll. They're on a damn roll.
And this is what I'm going to say. Marcus Freeman is a great recruiter, but he's also a smart individual. He knows his defensive side, but he hired Al Gordon, the best defensive coordinator. Well, pays him the top. You know what I mean? Pays him as the top defensive coordinator. He hired Mike Denbrock. he lets them run their offense and and defense, and he hypes our guys up. But could we talk about Riley? Could we just talk about Riley Leonard real quick? Like my man was 8 for 8 before he threw a dud in the end zone. But he threw a dud, but whatever, he threw a dud. But Riley Leonard looked like he was QB1 today. Can we say? It was Army. Yeah, it was Army. And we can sit here and talk about our schedule, but you play who's in front of you. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Tennessee just played straight in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, the SEC's over there playing UTEP and UMass and all that.
So, do you believe that if Notre Dame wins next week and gets into this tournament, that with that defense they could play with anybody in this top 12? Do you believe that as we sit tonight? Do you hope it? Do you hope it, or do you really think it and believe it? Those are two different things.
Defense in the country.
Okay.
Did you see how amazing Christian Gray played tonight? We lost Ben Morrison, and we got another CB1.
Man, these guys are flying around. That defense is flying around. They hit that quarterback. God bless him. He's going to be so.
Oh, he got beat up.
I hope they give him a day off from training or whatever they got to do, because that poor kid got beat and kept getting up.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Army. I mean, but what I want to say to you, we got the best safety in the country too. Not for nothing, Xavier Watts is the best safety in the country. He's the best safety in the country. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I mean, and not for nothing too. Did you Jack Heiser? You know what I'm saying? Did you see that strip and get in the recovery? Like, oh man, and then Bryce Young with the block. I mean, third one of the year, by the way. Third one of the year by that little guy, or that young guy. Not little, that young guy. 3 of them in his freshman year. He's gotten a paw on. That is difference-making plays. Pat, what do you want to say? Looks like you want to say something. Or are you just looking at your screen?
Yeah, I was blowing my nose.
Oh, that's good. Put that on the air like when I used to do it, and everybody thought I was doing drugs.
I hit the mute button though.
Yeah, they all thought I was ripping lines. John, where'd you get that energy from? They don't think it's natural, Pat. They don't think it's natural. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for the call. I like your energy, man. Give me a prediction for USC. I like your energy. And stay away from that. You don't need a drink, man. I don't want to see you get locked back up. What if they lock you back up for the playoff? It ain't worth it. Stay off that beer.
They're not gonna lock me back up. My PO don't give a fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to use that language. My PO is good. My PO, I have a great PO. I see him Tuesday. He's gonna be all right. I'm gonna let him know.
Okay.
Like, Notre Dame is a special occasion.
Okay.
I kind of want to know what you did.
It's a special occasion if Notre Dame's winning. But what I'm gonna say is, the only thing I'm nervous about is we had to go from Indianapolis to New York. Now, I'm in PA. I got 2 feet of snow where I'm at, and my power was going in and out. So I know that the travel had to have sucked to go from Indianapolis to New York, because New York's only about an hour and a half away from where I'm at. And now you got to go back to Indianapolis, go back to classes. And, I mean, we're a pristine college, that, like Brian Kelly said, it's so hard to recruit. It's so hard to recruit, because how are you going to get people in with their GPAs, and then we got to fly back out to California. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the Rodney road trip, baby. It's the Rodney road trip. New York Army, as traditional as it gets, and out to that dump called California. It's perfect. Rodney road trip.
But can we just laugh? Can we just laugh at Brian Kelly? Can we just have?
Oh, I've been doing it for a week.
Brian Kelly.
I've been doing it. I've been doing it for a week. Hey, man, thanks for the call. Hit me up next week after we beat USC, hopefully. All right.
Oh, we're beating SC, and go Irish.
Go Irish. I appreciate it, man. You never know what you're gonna get, Pat. The energy we got. I hope his parole officer isn't listening.
I know. I kind of want to ask him what he did, but
I don't want to know. I don't want just like my main man Martinez. I would just rather not know. I know I love him. I don't need to know my man's sins. I don't need to know that. I know I love the guy. $10 holler from Ryan. Getting out to a quick lead is good for my anxiety. No kid, man. My blood pressure drops back into the non-stroke zone every time you get up by 2 scores. We need a kicker. Are we looking to solve this problem? Or are we just looking to wheeling out an injured kicker and shanking them from here on out? Based on what we've seen, Ryan, put out an injured kicker and let him shank him. Apparently,
I mean, like, I get it.
They had 2 other kickers last week and they couldn't get close.
I know. I get it. Well, that's why. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you can go hold tryouts with the soccer team, but you're gonna put out a kid from the soccer team in a playoff game who's never kicked before in a real college game?
It's rough. And you know what? Some people are saying, multiple people have put in the chat, the NIU game may have been like a blessing in disguise, or like you didn't know it at the time, but that's exactly what this team and Marcus Freeman needed and all that. I will only agree with that if we beat USC next week. And if we don't, then I'm going to blame it for ruining the whole year if we lose to USC. But if you beat USC, then I think you could literally make the argument that that was a turning point for Freeman and his tenure and the way this team is wired and the way these guys had to think about every game and how valuable each win could be and how much they all matter and all that crap. So only I will accept that if we get to that point. I'm going to ask this for the chat too. Some of you are going to know who this person is and some of you are not. Is it true or not? This just popped into my mind. I don't know why. Is it true that BVD died? I saw some messages today that BVD died from the YouTube community, the Tennessee guy. I want to know if any of you guys are in those circles with Uncle Lou and Pigskin Pete and those guys. And BVD was a good old boy from Tennessee, and I knew he had some health problems. Is it true that he did pass away? I did see that on Twitter, and that would be a shame. He's a good old boy and was one of the first people doing kind of what I'm doing on a bigger scale many, many, many years ago. Good old boy in Tennessee. God bless him if that's true. Let me know if any of you guys are in that circle, but I did see that from Pigskin. Saw that in Uncle Lou's chat. Yeah, I knew he's in that Southern YouTube, bank with Uncle Lou and Pigskin and all those guys. 269, you're on the line. Actually, 509 and then 269. 509, welcome to the show. First time caller?
Yeah, first time, John.
Beautiful. I'm glad to get you in. I always make it a priority to try and get some first time people in here. Thank you for waiting. What's on your mind? Really good day for Notre Dame.
Oh, I've been locked in since about 4 weeks ago. Look, I'm 51. I remember the 88 run. I remember that bullshit call against Rocket against Colorado.
Yeah.
I remember that terrible game against Boston College in '93. I'm flying in from Southeastern Washington State. I just dropped $5,000 on tickets in a room. I'm ready.
Man, okay. So you have seen and lived through all those experiences. You know what those teams looked like and felt like and what the leadership looked and felt like. What do you feel about this team? What is your experience of seeing all those moments in Notre Dame on the good and the bad end? What does it all lead you to? How are you feeling about this team? What's your gut tell you about where this group is at?
It's tough, right? You're looking at it from a prism of a 50-year-old kid that loves Chris Zorich. If I ran into Chris, I'd give him a kiss. He'd knock me out, but I'd run into it.
No, he wouldn't. He'd give you. Chris is a nice guy. He'd give you a kiss right back.
No, the defense is 100% legit. It may be, I don't know, that 12 defense was tough. It may be the best defense I've seen. I remember the chicken soup game, but I was just a little kid. They're so athletic at every position. And the offense is what it is, right? And so let's see what happens. I think we could beat anybody in the country.
Dude, the longer this goes, the longer this season is played out, the more I am really feeling like every team is flawed now. Maybe the idea, the portal and everything really did make it to where there's more parity. I do not feel like there's any team where I'm like, oh my gosh, we absolutely could not play with them.
Right. And it's different now. Like this with this playoff format, you want to be peaking, kind of like in the basketball tournament, right? And this team is headed in the right direction, man. I'm so jacked. This team even got me going back to Mass. Hell, I went to Mass the last 4 weeks.
There you look at that. It's good for the Irish soul, man. When Notre Dame football wins, it's good for the Irish soul. There's more people in church for the right reasons. I love that, man. And so what's your relationship like? I want to ask you this, that age range. What's your relationship like with the USC rivalry? How intense is the feeling for you about the evil empire and us against them and all the history? What are you feeling as we build towards that?
Yeah, I still hate Rodney Pete.
Why would you start to like him?
I'm a UW fan, so I got the double hatred going on there. I hate USC almost as bad as scum. I just don't like them.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
crooked. I mean, you knew that whole Pete Carroll run was crooked. Like the Bush push game, all that.
Yep. This is. Listen, you're one away from full redemption from week 2. And I and a bunch of people probably wouldn't have bet that we were going to get that far, but they have done it, and they are one away from history in South Bend. They've come way too far to fall off now. You got to smother them with good defense next week and do enough on offense, win that damn game, and lock your spot up.
I just hope, I planned on them. I've got my outfit already picked out. I got a big old huge leprechaun hat. I'm going shirtless. I got to have pink Go Irish on my stomach. I'm 6'2", 300 pounds. I got a couple Celtic rosaries I'm going to wear.
Hey, if you're going shirtless, you're better off to make it in the LA game instead of the playoff game. I'll give you that.
No, I'm going to the playoff game. I already bought my plane tickets. I'm flying right into South Bend. I already got my room.
Ooh, I thought you were talking about for USC.
No, I'm flying into South Bend. I've never been to it's my bucket list. I've only been to the campus twice.
Baby.
I've never been to a game.
Well, you better hope they win next week. You better hope they win next week, or you're going to be lonely in that hotel, that overpriced hotel room for no reason, bro. You're going to be lonely and miserable in that hotel room if we lose to USC. I'm knocking on wood. I'm knocking on wood. Oh,
but I have to plan ahead, or I won't be able to go. Right.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true.
I can drive from Chicago. I sent you a message on Patreon. Look it up.
It's true. I mean, man, it's just this is exciting, you guys, and I'm hoping everybody is very, very fired up this week. If you're not this week, I don't know why you call yourself a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mike? Yeah, exactly. Anything else? Thanks for giving me. I love first-time callers, and I like your energy, man.
No, yeah, I sent you a Patreon message.
I'll check it out.
I had some questions about where I should stay and stuff.
Okay.
I know I'm jinxing this, but I have to plan ahead. All right, guys, have a good
night.
Yeah,
I will. I'll try and help you answer some of those. I'm getting to know my way around pretty damn good. Have a good one. Nick Shepkowski here. Lou tried to do that the week of the Florida State game in '93. Held tryouts from soccer players for Sunday until kickoffs. Wasn't impressed with any. Stuck with what he had. People are saying that guy's double my size. Yeah. If Howard Cross is out, put him in there. 6'2", 300 or whatever. I don't know.
You know who I liked watching is that freshman defensive tackle. For being a big guy, he had a motor on him. What's his name? Sean
Sevillano.
Sevillano, yeah. He had a motor on him. He was fun to watch.
I think that's what Goolsby says all the time about him is that motor and those feet are athletic, and he's always moving and getting around. And
yeah. Now we got to do something about the long ass T-shirt. He I think went down to his knees. It wasn't really a Chris Zorge style look for him. So
let's see if we could get Rodney. Third time's a charm. What's up, buddy? Do I got you?
There you are. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. There you go. You're back.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I got this new phone, and if I hold the phone too close, it hits the mute button, so I have to get out of the call screen. Anyway, the excuses. Hey, man. So, Pat, good to see you, man. It's been a while. How you been?
Good, Rodney. How are you?
I'm good, Pat. I'm good. Good to see you, man.
You too.
Yeah,
it's nice, Rodney. It's nice not having you blame me for.
Dude, Pat, unfortunately, and John knows this, I cannot hear you on the screen when you're talking.
I think he was going to I think all he was going to say is it's just nice to have you call and not blame him for everything bad that happens with Notre Dame this time. So that's a good start. We're off to a damn good start. Better than the Ohio State game.
Thank you, Pat's interpreter. John, I appreciate it.
Yeah, there you go. I'm like Shohei Ohtani.
You're right. Hey.
Rodney, Notre Dame's close to pulling it off. Notre Dame's close to pulling this off. What do you make of the redemption tour here?
Oh, dude. Okay. Let me just say this. This way I can encapsulate it and it can be accurate and I'm not overstepping myself. Okay.
after NIU through this game, not including next week, obviously, this is the best Notre Dame team I've seen since 1993. Just in that, whatever, what is that? 7 games? Is that 8 games? 8 games? This stretch, man, or 9 games. I'm sorry, 9 games. This stretch is the best 9-game stretch since 1993. As far as what I think is quality Notre Dame football, I think it's a listen, man. The 2012 defense might have been slightly statistically better, I guess. They were so good against the run, but this one has got more athletes, man. The way they attack the ball, the speed to the ball, it's a thing of beauty, man. And the offense is coming around, man. They're getting better all the time. I mean, the things we allow, it's weird, John. When you look at and Pat, the practicality of the defense is what I'm most impressed by. Yeah, we'll allow a touchdown here or there, but they generally come either early in the game or they come at the end when we've already are up by 35 points. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you just look at the practical defense when the game matters, man, I think this is the best defense in the country, man. I watched the OSU Indiana game today. And, look, Ohio State's tough, man. They really, really are. They got a lot of athletes. I think Oregon's really good. I think no question, those are the 2 best teams just based on consistency this year and what they've done. Outside of those 2 teams, you can make a strong argument that Notre Dame's number 3. You can make I'm just saying up until this point, and we could be hating ourselves for saying that next week if we, for some reason, blow this. But, man, don't feel like it. Don't feel like we're going to blow it. I mean, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think if you were waiting for a time to buy in, if you're not buying in now, why are you a Notre Dame fan? They've run this thing from week 2 all the way. None of the games were even really that close. Louisville, I think, was the closest one. You've been kicking the crap out of people. Yeah. If you're not buying in now, why bother following any of this or caring about Notre Dame? It's one more game you have to win to reach your ultimate dream.
And John, it might be that
the competition
needs to see them win next week. Maybe it's next week. Maybe it's next week, and then everybody jumps on board. I can sort of understand that because everybody's okay. Well, if we lose next week, I don't even know for sure, John. I mean, I said after that loss we had at NIU, I said, let's just see what happens because why are we all assuming other teams aren't going to screw up?
Yeah.
Why are we assuming that? And we have seen a lot of teams screw up. I mean, right now we got a home game, no question. If we lose, I'm still not 100% convinced we don't make the playoffs based on everybody losing outside of us. So, I mean, again, God forbid that happens. I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle, though.
I don't care how it is. That's 2 points, 1 point, last second,
Yeah, that's
whatever. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but let's just win. But right now, John, we got a home game. I mean, we got a home game.
Yeah, it's right there for you, man. It would be an ultimate comeback story, and you're almost there. I gotta think though, this defense is so locked in. I have a hard time seeing them not find a way to be able to clamp down next week, and they just seem really, really focused. And this team plays with a lot of confidence. It's going to be a big week, man. Like a big week. And you're right, Rodney. For some reason, we do this thing where we look at it and we just assume chalk is going to happen on most of these matchups. And then you end up with all these upsets. Today has been a wild day in college football, and Notre Dame did their part. Good job.
It has been, and what a day in college football. Holy mackerel, John. What a day in college football. Guys, I'm going to let you go with that. John, great, and Pat, great seeing both of you. And cannot wait for the Always Irish mobile show on home playoff.
Oh, buddy.
First home playoff game in Notre Dame history. Oh, my God. It's going to be so much fun.
I don't even want to think about it yet because I don't want to get ahead of myself anything. And anything that could be going on in town that week and what it could be like. I don't even want to get myself excited. But, Rodney, I'm glad you figured out the phone. Good to hear from you after a big win, buddy. Thanks.
You got it, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. Why are we talking about the playoffs? There's a game next week. The whole time we've been saying we've been talking about USC the whole time, but it's hard not to talk about the playoffs when they do a ranking every week and they do all this stuff. Everybody's kind of got to deal with this in the forefront. it's like in the forefront, but in the shadows at the same time. It's just kind of there.
I mean, you're in a playoff. You're in a playoff right now. So you're in a playoff. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's man, it's just one more, you guys. 269. What's going on?
What's up, John? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing.
Great win for us.
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I am. Notre Dame's playing really good football. They have one more to go to reach their dreams. I'm thrilled, man. And other teams are losing. Notre Dame's winning. What's not to like? What do you think?
Hey, first of all, I want to say we are blessed that Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are on our team. Okay, those two dudes are absolute studs.
Yeah. Jeremiah Love is the best athlete on both sides of the field for both teams almost every week or every single week. Is he not just head and shoulders like the best athlete you see on either team any week? He's just so athletic. It's really a joy to watch.
Absolutely. And another player I just want to give a shout out to, man. Everybody's talking about, how great X is. X is great. He's probably one of the greatest safeties ever. But that kid, Don Schuler, man, he's a baller.
Yeah, he's playing good football. That entire secondary is playing. They haven't missed a beat. With Morrison out, they have not missed a beat. Guys are stepping up. Young guys. Leonard Moore doing his thing. Christian Gray coming into his own. You got X back there, Schuler. They are doing a fantastic job. This defense flies around. They're athletic. They're fast. They're confident, and they hit. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Did you guys see the stat? We were number one in the country in turnovers this year, too. 26, they said, number one in the country.
Yeah,
they're turning the ball.
Takeaways, yeah.
Yeah, takeaways. They're turning the ball over. It's just Al Golden, God bless you.
Yeah, and I mean, John, so I'm only 29, so I didn't get to see a championship, unfortunately. Can you tell me when is the last time you've seen a defense at Notre Dame this good?
I mean, to me, because of my age, it reminds me a lot of 2012. But this defense is way, way, way faster, way more athletic, and I think deeper than that defense. But they were really good in 2012, and that was a championship level team allegedly, because we ended up being undefeated at number one until Alabama crushed us. But that was a really lockdown defense, and again, that team had an offense you didn't really fully trust, but they found ways to win games. But they played better competition than we've played. Some people are saying 93, but I admit I was a little too young to really appreciate all of the 93. I was just 9 years old, couldn't really appreciate it or understand it.
I mean, yeah, but I know they talk about, us playing competition and all that type of stuff, but really, who is playing great competition this season? Because there's not an elite team.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there have been spurts where Oregon looked like the best team and Texas looked dominant for a few weeks or whatever. But all of these teams have shown to have vulnerabilities. Every single one of them has had large amounts of time where they look beatable. And so I don't know, man. If you're going to play this good a defense and bring that to the ballpark every day, you're going to be in every game.
Listen, I'm just saying this. Without there being an elite team, if there's a year to win a national championship, it's this year.
I'm telling you, there might be some to that, man. Notre Dame loses week. Me and Ghouls, we were talking about this last week. You lose week 2. Everybody's making fun of you. Everyone's counting you out. The media doesn't even mention you for like 6 more weeks. Maybe that is the best case scenario. You fly right under the radar, play your good defense. People don't think you're flashy, but you just play a hard-nosed football and win.
Yeah, and, another thing is, I just like I know the NIU loss rubbed us all the wrong way, but in my opinion, it was a blessing in disguise, because who's to say we beat NIU and then the rest of the season we were winning games by 7 points, 3 points, 10 points, After that game, it gave us what we needed. It made us angry. Yeah, you could make that argument. If we end up beating USC, you could make that argument that was a turning point for Freeman and the team, but you got to complete it. You got to finish this. You got to seal the deal. You got to wrap it up. Ronald, I get it. Every 2 seconds, you don't have to say USC looks amazing.
We get what you're trying to scare us about USC. Anyways,
I mean, technically, John, that person's wrong because I'm sitting here watching them and they're barely doing anything against UCLA. So I'm not worried about USC, man. If we can stop them with Caleb Williams, and this year's defense is way better, and I believe they have a freshman starting quarterback, we're going to go in there. We're going to make a statement. We're going to have a home game, playoff game. I can't wait because I'm going to be there. And
woo, I like it. I like it. I don't know. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know where he went. You cut out, man. I didn't hang up on you, but thanks for calling. You cut out. I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear you. Couldn't hear you. 615, what's going on? What do we got here? We got, I think, 4 calls left. We're going to do those, and then I'm going to start writing my article. 615, make it come alive. What's going on?
Hey, guys. I think Swamp Thing maybe saved his job tonight over beating Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I did see that. You know, if I could complain about one thing that didn't break Notre Dame's way, you didn't get another loss there. It's been a long week down there it's been a long week. And Death Valley was very, very quiet tonight. They did not have their normal roar in that place. It's been a very, very long week on and off the field for him. But in Notre Dame land, you did a great job, man. You're doing what you need to do. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Hopefully, after next week, you guys can crack open them bottles of Jack Daniel's Fire we all gave you at the tailgate.
Oh, I'm telling you what, man. There's going to be some celebrating done if Notre Dame completes this full run. And they're close, man. And if Notre Dame fans aren't bought in now, I understand being burned after week 2. If you're not bought back in now, why even bother?
Well, it's like they say, defense wins championships. So hopefully that's the case. I think, you almost get scared to say it, but everything's lining up our way. I mean, I give us just as good a chance as anyone else.
You know, I'm telling you, it really doesn't feel like this is a year where a team is head and shoulders above everybody else that everybody's chasing. It just doesn't feel like it. So throw your hat in the ring, and if you bring good defense every week, you can win any game. When you bring great defense to every ballpark you play in all the time, you could beat anybody. So, I mean, maybe this is the year where they fly under the radar and nobody's given them a chance since week 2, and we're not all cocky running our dumb mouths half the year, and we're laying low, letting things play out. Maybe that's a better spot to be in.
Well, we just, like you said, we just had another upset a couple minutes ago where Auburn beat Texas A&M in double overtime.
Yeah, it's I'm telling you, today has been a wild day. I gotta say, maybe I'm a fool. That Alabama game flew under the radar to me. I was not even thinking about that one when I was looking at upsets. I wanted to see what Indiana and Ohio State looked like and all that. And I took for granted that Alabama game, but this is going to change things.
Well, yeah, they're gone. They're out.
They're done. They're gone. That's it. So it's going to be really interesting. And I do think if that helps anybody, what's happened with Ole Miss and these guys, it helps Indiana a lot because they lost and they can maybe stay in it with the 1 loss instead of 2. It's going to be really, really interesting, man.
Yeah, they came back to make it a little more respectable,
Yeah. And so, I don't know. The Notre Dame's playing great defense. That offense listen, this offense is never going to look exactly like I want it to look like, but they're finding a way to win and play good ball. And that quarterback seems to feel pretty confident in what he's doing out there. And I think you could ride that a long way.
John, I don't know what your thoughts are, but everyone keeps saying, Boise State, let us play Boise State. But I'd rather draw an SEC team to come to South Bend to play because, Boise's used to that cold weather and I don't think they'd have any problem with the weather like
I just think
SEC team would.
Roster-wise, you got to be careful what you're asking for there because there's no comparison, even with the Heisman candidate running back Boise has. There's no comparison between an SEC roster athletically and Boise. So you're playing with fire there. You catch a warm December night and then you get Georgia coming up here. That's a lot different than it being Boise. So I just think you got to be careful. You got to be careful on what you're asking for there. But you got to win next week for any of this to matter. And I just think this defense is so supremely locked in right now. I have a hard time seeing them not play great next week. Andrew Gilmore here. Good to see you, buddy. I have a hard time not seeing them play good.
Yeah, I I'm nervous. You sit there and you don't want to bring up the demons of the past.
But you know what, man? But
they're gonna be there till we get over it.
You're right.
Till we win one.
You're absolutely right. And I wrote an article the other day, and I said something about one of these Notre Dame teams and coaches needs to be the one to be like, we've had enough of this. And we're sick of this stat that comes out on Twitter every year when bowl season comes that we haven't won a bowl game since John was like 7 or 8, 9 years old or whatever, since January 1st of 94. I'm sick of all this crap. One of these Notre Dame teams and coaches is going to be the one to break through all that, win one of these, and then the sky's the limit and everything changes. Why can't it be this team?
Amen. Let it be.
Let it be, let it be, just like the Beatles said. By the way, speaking of the Beatles, I do like when they play All You Need Is Love, when Jeremiah Love does something. It's such a great touch.
I loved it too. I loved it too.
Home, and then I heard it at Yankee Stadium playing All You Need Is Love. It's so beautiful. And, it isn't Lizzo. It's a throwback to a song that's family friendly, that is Americana. And it isn't, Lizzo out there, anything trashy. You know what? I like myself a little All You Need Is Love.
No, you got it. Well, look, John, you have a great rest of the night and a good weekend, and hopefully we're all celebrating.
Oh, I hope so.
Night.
I really hope so, man. This is you're getting very, very close to a full redemption story here that could be turn into some really great. This is going to be an intense week, and I'm going to be wound tight and tuned up because this is really, really important. And you got to finish it off. Hey, I really appreciate you calling me, and I'll pop some of that open if we get that win next week. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you, buddy. Bye.
Have a good one. Oh, man.
USC and UCLA are fighting as they're going to halftime in the thrilling 9-3 game between a 5-5 and 4-6 team.
Oh, man, I like it. $5 holler from the Philly special. Big day for ND Sports. Ladies beat number 3 USC in LA, and we kick ass in New York. Phil, it's just good to see you, and good to see you in here, man. 559. Uh-oh, what are we going to get here? 559, what's up?
What's up, John? First, man, I got a little something for you real quick, man.
Oh, boy.
Here you go. How you like that, my boy? You ready to go?
There you go. To live and die in LA, it's the place to be. You got to be there to know it, and everybody wanna see. I'm telling you, man.
And live and die
That's a trademark.
LA.
Yeah.
That's right, boys. Next stop, LA, California. I want to see every Notre Dame representing. Put in your chains, put your gear on, and let's get this home. And let's make this the last one for the season to remember. Put it in the past, and let's get ready for this playoff. But first, we got to be in LA, representing and taking care of business. What's up, Pat? I haven't seen you in a minute, my boy. Last time I saw you, you were all peace and having fun after the Texas A&M game. Suing yourself. You're looking good now.
Thank you.
Thank you, I think. I guess. Oh, man. So what do you make of it, man? Notre Dame's defense is playing lights out. You think they're going to bring it out? Look at now, everybody's doing all the West Coast songs. California Dreaming. I'm going back to Cali. That's a good one. Oh.
That's what I'm doing too, bro. I'm going to be playing that as soon as I hit the Nevada line into California. I'm going back to Cali.
Wait, are you really going to go to the game? Are you really going to go to the game?
Yeah. Yeah, I got, man, my boy, I've been ready. This is my family tradition with my sons. We have everything ready to go. My PTO's approved. Money in the bank. Jerseys already came in. Our chains came in. Man, we bougie out in California, but we're going to show what bougie is, bro.
Dude, I love it. You got the kind of attitude we need out there in the Coliseum, baby. You got the kind of attitude we need.
I'm one of a kind, bro. I'm feeling myself on a good way in all levels, you know what I'm saying? But right now it's about Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, and guess what, my coach? I told you from day one, don't forget about your Darren Price. That boy's a beast. That's a dog right there. All we need is a couple of little young pups coming their own, and we got some dogs coming everywhere. We got linebackers looking like animals out there. We got these corners looking like shutdown corners. And Dion who? Man, we got Moore and we got Gray. That's what we got. Safety, no fly zone, lock. You know what I'm saying? We got this defense. This defense is looking good. But thanks to my main man, Marcus Freeman, for sticking it and showing that we got to fight. Enough of being good Samaritans and no, you know what, let's bring them and give them a tour of our campus. No, hey, thank you for coming. You got your ass whooped. Now go home. That's all we got to be each and every time.
Man, I like your energy. I'm so glad you're going to the game because I need this kind of flair for the dramatic out in the Coliseum. I really do.
Yeah, bro. Okay. Yeah, thank you for your service, Army. Thank you for everything you've done for America and everything. Like, I'm sorry. We had to show you that, you're still a little baby brother and all that, a little step brother that would just slap you around for a little bit, let you recognize, hey, don't come around playing with 19-0 and you're the number 9 in the nation, whatever you were in the nation. Well, we just showed you come on, go home now. But now let's focus on USC. Let's stay focused, guys. We still got one more game. Let's enjoy tonight. Let's have a good time. And, bro, I'm just excited. I'm just really happy for Marcus Freeman. He deserves it. He's brought so much joy to us, and I don't know who you guys talk about, that guy that shops in that cheap aisle, bro, because we ain't cheap over here, bro. We bougie, guys. We bougie.
Yeah, we are. I hope you represent it out there in LA. Hey, you're going to the right place to be bougie, by the way. You're going to LA. You'd fit in down there with your chain and your bling and your bouge.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? It's one of those things about I'm just want to tell everybody, let's go give everybody some respect and let's be classy because we are, we are Notre Dame and we still got to show some class, but at the same time, but not when we beat USC. USC, I want some animals with me. I want people to be rowdy and be about it. You know what I mean? Because we ain't going to give no love to none of USC fans or anything like that. We're like I said, you're going to put some respect behind Notre Dame each and every time we talk about us. And tell Goolsby I need his big old bulldog neck that he has, next to us too, with that gold chain on his too.
Yeah, I do need to get him a big 41 chain. He needs a big 41. Maybe I should get him that for Christmas. Just a big gold 41 chain. That'd be great for him, man.
You know what? A big 40. You know what? I'll make that happen. Don't even trip. I'll send it to you.
I appreciate that, man. Anything else? Give me a call back during the week in the morning, will you?
Yeah, no, I got to be at work at 3 in the morning, bro, but actually, no. I just want to say hi. It's really happy to see Pat smiling. Look at how cute over there. That time he was calling all the time, interrupting because he was feeling himself. Boy, you look cute right there, Pat. Keep smiling, my boy. You too, John. Stay up. I'll see you soon.
Have a good one, Pat. Something concerning
we bougie, John. We bougie. Show that bougie chain you got there, Johnny.
Something's happening here. Have you noticed? Why do I tend to be the one who gets all the parole Notre Dame fans that have problems with the law? I got a few. I got my main man Martinez. The other guy's on parole. This guy sounds like he's on the loose. What are we doing? Why am I becoming the show for all the Notre Dame fans with the criminal record?
You're just the big tent Notre Dame fan party. That's all you are.
Yes,
everyone's welcome here.
I'm happy to have them, but it's just I think I'm finding a crowd here. It's look at this. It's Wes Paul. Pat, what's going on, buddy? If I could hit the button. There we go. What's up, Pat?
Hey, John. It's Pat from West Palm.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Big win from Notre Dame and a lot of carnage around the country. What do you make of it?
Well, look, the Irish are playing better. The defense is championship level. But the reason I called in is your friend Cotter dropped my name about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I just want to clear up the record. The reason I called for Marcus Freeman to be fired after the Stanford game is because he brought disgrace on the university by trying to run up the score on a beaten Stanford team. You see, there's a difference, and I've noticed this, and I come at this as an alumni, that Subway alumni have built Notre Dame. They really have. They're the reason Notre Dame is a national school. But the problem with Subway alumni is they only care about the football team, whereas alumni care about the university first.
That's not true.
And then the football team.
That's not
Not
true.
true at all.
True.
Wow.
And it's 100% true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
No,
It's not true.
it's not true.
I mean,
And you can't. If you think
This is the problem right here, John. This
He's
is the problem.
because he's got a primitive mind, and he's going to stammer and insist that's not true.
no,
You see, the university comes first, the team comes second. And Freeman and Denbrock try to run up the score against Stanford, bring disgrace on the university, and that's why Freeman should be fired. Not because of a one-loss record. You see, you could win every game.
No,
But
no,
you
I
think
quoted
it's
you right.
great
I know
for
exactly what you
university.
said.
You should be fired. So he's too primitive in his thinking. He just thinks about
John
one
agrees
one
with
loss
me.
record. What?
there are. Wait.
Get him.
Okay, so
I'm
we're
not
not-
gonna waste my time on this bullshit. This is the stupidest freaking thing I've ever heard.
We're not going to agree on the blowout part or whatever. But the problem's going to be is there is a whole lot of Subway alumni that stand up for the values that Notre Dame represents way beyond the football. So that's where you're going to run into trouble with this. If you have a problem with Pat, you have a problem with Pat. But when you're going to say all of the Subway alumni just care about football results, you're going to run into a problem with that. You're going to run into a problem with that. You cannot generalize and say all. I understand the sentiment you're trying to say, but you cannot say that's all Subway alumni care about. And you know what you're slipping into? You're slipping into a little of that Notre Dame arrogance type thing of like, I know better because I went there
100%.
and I'm classier than you and I'm more dignified than you. I don't think you want to toe into that. I don't think you want to get into that. That's a dangerous spot to be in this community when you're coming off like I'm the one morally superior to all of you guys. That ain't going to hit well in this community.
I am sensitive to that. But I'm going to tell you that Subway alumni's only interface with the university is the football team and the games they watch on TV. So, for example, and again, I have nothing but love for Subway alumni.
No, you
But I'm
don't.
here to tell you that they're the first ones to admit that basically you should bring in, cheap shot felons that belong to the University of Miami.
You're making a lot
And
of
they-
general
they-
Pat. You're making
What?
a lot of
Are
generalizations.
you
man.
kidding me right now that this is the argument that we're having, that they're going to bring in cheap? Was Chris Zorge a cheap shot
Well,
felon?
I got news. I don't know any alumni that cheer on running up the score. I've never met any alumni that think it's a good thing,
Give Dr. John a call.
right? And I'm not. What?
Pat, you're making a lot of generalizations. You think these things and you're applying them 100% to all these different groups of people. And I just don't think you could do that. I don't think you could do that, man.
Look. There's probably some.
I just
Subway
don't.
alumni
And you
that
know what?
care
Let
about
me
the
flip it
honor
on you,
of the
Pat. Let me flip this on you. Let me flip this on you from my position in this niche. I know a lot. I'm not going to generalize everybody, but I know a lot of people that went to Notre Dame. They don't give two shits about the football team at all because they got their fancy degree and they're making money and they're big shots. And they go to games and don't really cheer, but are just there to be seen and have a picnic. They don't care if we win or lose at all. Like, this cuts both ways with both groups. I've seen it both ways with both groups of who values what and why. I've seen that go both ways, man. But you're making very, very, very broad generalizations. And it's going to come off like you're saying, I'm classier and more dignified than all you dummies that weren't smart enough or rich enough to go there. You're wading into that territory. That's how it's coming off.
All right, that's not my intent. What I'm saying is, I've never met an alumni
I met a bunch.
that wanted to see
bunch.
wanted to see disgrace come on the school.
No.
That wanted to be embarrassed by the school.
I think there is not that many people that agree with you that what happened in that game is a disgrace. There's just not, Pat. I do not think there are that many people that are going to agree with you that they had a problem with what happened in the Stanford game. I don't know why you think you're in the majority on that. That is a minority opinion that you are still offended and wanted Freeman fired for running up the score on Stanford. I think that is a minority opinion. Okay. You are not in the majority of that. So maybe you think you're in the moral authority on it and nobody else is in your boat. That is a minority opinion. There is no way the majority of people, Subway alumni or regular alumni, that agree with you that that have been bothered by that all these different weeks of the year. And I would ask you, why do you care about all these games every week if you want the guy fired and we're a disgrace? Why are you engaging at all with Notre Dame football then if you're that sickened by it?
Because my love for Notre Dame goes beyond Marcus Freeman. That's why.
Oh, man. I'm really struggling with this, man.
I'd say also, John, excuse me, I'd say also, did you not listen to Blackledge a couple weeks ago calling out Notre Dame for trying to run up the score? I mean, look, I'm not the only person here. And so my point is...
Blackledge? Who gives a shit about Blackledge?
Says, what?
Yeah, he doesn't care what Blackledge says.
I don't care what Blackledge. He's an objective guy who 2 weeks later was like wondering why Notre Dame's throwing the ball at the end of the game that was over.
Man.
So my point is this. 45 minutes ago, Cotter runs his mouth and says that I'm wrong because I said Freeman should be fired. My point is, it doesn't matter about win or loss record. If you brought disgrace on the school, you should be fired. For the same reason that Brian Kelly.
But you are not the Pat. You're not the arbiter of disgrace. Just because you went there, you're not the arbiter of disgrace. You're outnumbered on your opinion. Not that many people agree with you. You're not the ultimate arbiter of disgrace. So I have a problem when you start your argument by assuming everybody agrees that what happened was a disgrace. You're in the minority in that, man. Not that many people are going to agree with you at all.
Okay, so you're fine with throwing the ball in the end zone.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have no problem with what happened in that game whatsoever. I have no problem with it at all. That's an intellectually defensible position. There is no such thing as running up the score. There is
no such thing as running up the score.
There is such a thing. I just don't.
There's no such thing.
There is. I just didn't think that was that situation. I did not have a problem with it. That complaint never would have even entered my brain if you didn't bring it up and then yell about it. I never would have thought about it. I would have just went on with my night. It never would have. It was never on my bingo sheet that we blew them out and it was a problem. And nobody else here
today.
Yeah.
So today you were cheering for Notre Dame to throw the ball with 19 seconds to go against Army.
No, but
the ball in the end zone.
No, but if they do, I don't. If they do, I don't care.
Defend that. Defend why you didn't throw the ball in the end zone.
It doesn't matter to me either way. Like, it just doesn't matter. I'm not asking for them to do it, but if they did, I wouldn't hold it against them. Those are different things.
You wouldn't hold it against them with 19 seconds to go?
Notre Dame just...
You wouldn't hold it against Notre Dame for throwing the ball with 19 seconds to go.
Notre Dame just wants to put up as many points as they can in a beauty contest for this committee, man. Everything has changed. This is not the 70s or the 80s. Notre Dame's has a lower level schedule and they have to try and win these games by a lot. And they're just trying to, I just don't think this is what you're making it out to be, man.
John.
I just don't.
You know who disagrees with you? Your own friend, Pat Cotter. Because this week he posted on the internet saying there are no style points and you win by 1 against Army, it's enough. Didn't he say that? Pat, you're on the phone. Didn't you say that this week?
I said this game, the only thing that matters is beating Army by 1. I didn't say there are no style points. I said the only thing that matters is that you beat Army by 1. because you just needed to win the game. It wasn't about style points. And I also said, if Notre Dame blows them out, if you're going to quote me accurately, because I said if Notre Dame blows them out, that's fantastic, but you only needed to win this game by 1. Asshole.
That's right. So there are no style points. There are no style points.
In this game, because Army was ranked 19th in the country and undefeated. Do you see the difference?
That's right. I'm agreeing with you. There are no style points to be had. But John is saying
in this game, there were no style points. There were style points against Stanford because that team sucked.
And John never said you should throw the ball with 19 seconds left. John said he wouldn't hold it against them if they did. Those are two different things, man. You are twisting a lot of things here.
Why?
Totally twisting it. This is why you can't trust a person like this, John, because he is taking something and twisting it to his benefit. He is useless. Hang up on him.
You guys are contradicting yourself.
I am capable.
You guys are contradicting yourself.
Pat, you want to be the smartest guy in Florida. Go for it, dude. Nobody's with you on this. You have your moral superiority and your intellectual superiority. You've said that to Pat.
No,
You've said it to me. Like you can, but dude, you can have your moral superiority, but it's really rubbing people the wrong way, including the host of this show. I'm telling you, once you start getting into this, you're intellectually challenged. You're coming off like one of these elitist Notre Dame snobs that thinks he knows everything and nobody else could be on your moral level, and it's starting to rub everybody the wrong way. That's what's happening here. You maybe not see it and you live in your own world, but I'm just telling you what's happening is you're coming off like an elitist Notre Dame person, and none of us could ever have the intellect you do. Not everybody sees it the way you do. Get over it.
I get that. But Pat Cotter sees the way I do. He said there's no style points to be had.
Oh, my God.
See,
you're saying throw the ball.
John. This is going nowhere. It's not worth it. Hang up on him. Cut him off.
Man, if they threw
why is it okay to throw the ball with 19 seconds to go? Why is that okay? Tell me why that's okay.
Why is it not okay?
It doesn't matter to him. He thinks he's smarter than everybody.
Because Pat Connor just finished saying there's no style points.
Dude, all right. This is going nowhere. I'm done with this conversation, man. I'm just saying I've been very open to your differing opinions from the majority of the group and everything. I'm just telling you, you're crossing into dangerous water here because you're really coming off like you're smarter and more intellectual and more moral than all of us. And if you didn't go to Notre Dame, you can't have an opinion on all this. It ain't going well for you, man.
No, I think everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their opinion, but you should be concerned about the reputation of the university.
We both
if you are the reputation of the university. I am very concerned about it.
It's not affected it. We are both ultimately concerned about the reputation of the university. Nothing that's happened on the field other than losing to Northern has taken away from that credibility this year, Pat. We are both concerned about that, the same thing you are, but we differ in what applies. Okay? We are ultimately concerned about the reputation of the university, and nothing Notre Dame's done other than lose to Northern has affected it this year. That's the answer. So we're with you, but we disagree on the terms.
That's fair. That's fair, John. That's fair, John.
Put your wife on the phone. Let's see if she's more fun.
John. Enough with the personal stuff, really.
You just questioned my intellect, and 2 minutes later, it's enough with the personal stuff. Which is it?
When did I question your intellect? I'm starting to now, but when did I question your intellect?
I just can't believe it's 11:30 at night. NotreAme has this big win, and you're still mad about all this. I know Pat said what he said, but
I'm mad.
I mean, who cares?
I'm mad because your boy Connor, Pat, whatever his name is, Cotter, calls in and says that I'm wrong and drops my name.
Well, maybe that's his opinion. So what? He's co-hosting the show, and he thinks that. Who cares?
Well, he drops my name. I got.
So what?
What do you mean? So what? If he drops my name, I'm not going to respond to it. You crazy? Why wouldn't I respond?
I'm saying you can't.
I'm really struggling with this, man. We agree with you.
I wouldn't have called in. Look at the timestamp of my call. I called in when your friend Pat called in saying I'm set, or he said that I'm wrong because Freeman's winning games.
I'm done with this conversation.
It's not about wins and losses. My point then, and it is now, is if you try to run up the score on a team like Stanford,
Okay.
you disgrace the university. It's not about wins and losses. That's all I'm saying.
That can be your opinion, but you seem to struggle with the idea that nobody else here thinks it. Like, you can have that opinion, but you're struggling to be open to the idea that no one else here agrees with you. You can have your opinion. Nobody here or nobody in my ecosystem. I never heard any Notre Dame other media person or anybody covering or riding the team or anybody have that complaint, man. I just don't. You're the only one I've ever met that thinks that.
Okay, you didn't hear Blackledge raising?
No, I don't care. I don't care what it is.
I don't like Blackledge. He's
No.
not a fair arbiter.
There's a guy who called in a couple weeks ago who said he had NFL experience. He said there is like a code among coaches that you don't run up the score. So I respectfully say, you're wrong about that.
If you, I would love to know what you thought of Brian Kelly. If you think Marcus Freeman has no class, I would love to hear your thoughts on Brian Kelly. Like, it's
Brian Kelly fired.
I
a
mean,
long time ago.
Give me a break.
Very long time.
Man.
I
All right.
him fired a long time ago.
All right, Pat. You had your say. But I'm exhausted with this conversation, and I want to get a couple more of these people in before the end.
That's fair, John. That's fair.
But Pat, you're in the minority with this, buddy, man. Like, I cannot believe you're devastated and want Freeman fired and think he brought shame for running it up on Stanford. I just cannot believe that's where we're at. And you could believe that. I'm just telling you, you are in the minority opinion on this, dude. You are. That is not a top opinion.
Through your show, you and I have met. Oh, is he still on the phone?
The minority or not? I think throwing the ball in the end zone, less than 2 minutes to go, when you're up 6 touchdowns, is running up the score.
But what if
full stop?
Why are we still doing this?
But why does anybody care what you think? Like, nobody cares what I think, but you're not the moral arbiter either. Who cares?
Fair enough. That's true of every post and chat. As to who cares? That's my opinion. It's been validated by certain people who've called into your show. It was validated by
who? Nobody has been.
And you could keep saying it's irrelevant. My point is this: there's your friend Pat Cotter dropped my name about an hour ago, saying that basically because Freeman's been winning games, I'm in the wrong. My point is this: he brought, in my opinion, disgrace on the university by trying to run up the score. It has nothing to do with wins and losses.
Okay, and in our opinion, he didn't.
Brian Kelly brought disgrace on the university back in 2015 when he shoved
with his personality. When he brought shame when he had his personality. Seriously, he brought shame when he had his personality. Whenever that kicked in, the shame started. That's when that.
We can agree on that.
Yeah.
My point is, if you embarrass the university,
I agree with you. We agree with you that if you embarrass the university, you should be fired. But we're going to always differ, I think, on what is going to qualify as such. All right, West Palm, I got to get a couple more people in here, man. Hey, nobody let this ruin your weekend, man. We're fired up, but Notre Dame's got a chance to do something next week, Pat. Have a good one, buddy.
What a great win by Notre Dame. What a great game they played today. But I just gotta say that right there, John, what we just listened to, I was gonna say before he started rambling again, that through your show, we have had the opportunity to meet a lot of alumni. A lot of them are in this chat. They call into this show. It's really nice people like Dr. John. We have met a lot of former players. You've had Brady Quinn. You're working with Goolsby. A lot of all those people. They all agree with your premise of how Notre Dame should act and be, and how this season is going. And they're supporters of Marcus Freeman. But that guy we just talked to is everything we hate about Notre Dame. That is the wine and cheese crowd who think that they are so much better than everyone else, that nobody else matters. And if you don't do it his way, he'd rather flush the whole thing down the toilet And that's why Notre Dame hasn't won in almost 40 years. Right there, what we just heard.
I'm fine with everybody having a different opinion, but part of that is that it's a two-way street. You got to be open to the other side. He could think that all he wants, but I don't really judge it for him if he wants to live that way. But
2 weeks ago,
got open to the other side.
When I called into the show to debate him about this very thing that he was just trying to talk about, the first thing he said to me was, he was asking me my level of education, because he was sitting there, the snotty ass, high nose, looking down at you, Notre Dame alumni, and he is the reason Notre Dame is one of the most hated teams in the country. It's not because we won. It's because of people like that. That's the problem. God, I just can't stand it. And I am happy to know that after all the people I've met through your show, that he is in the super minority of Notre Dame alumni.
Yeah. Yeah. He thinks of things so differently, which I'm fine with, but you got to be open to the idea that not everybody agrees with you. I don't know. 949, what's going on?
I'll tell you, I'm pissed and I'm annoyed. That path hole that was just on, I agree with what the other Pat just said about him. He is the type that gives Notre Dame a bad name. I'm an alumni that doesn't think it was running up the score. You had the, whatever it was, 3s or 4s in there with the number 2 quarterback. That's who was throwing. They're just giving them opportunity and experience. That's the type of person that gives Notre Dame a bad name. There's very few of them, but there's just enough of them. There's about 10%. And I say that with experience. My mother was very good friends with Father Hesburgh. He would have tore the guy a new one because of his argument. And I say this because Father Hesburgh understood how significant the football program was to the university. That path hole that was just on is the type of person that's like the Dr. Whites and all these other fake doctors with their fake, with their PhDs, that nearly ruined Notre Dame. They certainly ruined Notre Dame football for 3 decades.
The Monk Malloys.
I think
it's the higher than mighty thing, and the Phil Purcells, to hell with all of them. There's a new sheriff in town. We're starting to move things in the right direction. We've got a new president coming in, new AD. We certainly got a new football coach. And
can I ask? All right, I want to pump the brakes on this a little bit. I don't like the tone shift here with all this now. It's a buzzkill on what should be.
I don't either, but I know.
Yeah, I know.
And listen to that.
Yeah.
And for way too long.
Yeah.
It got me pissed off. I will promise this. By the end of the call, I'll tell you what's going to happen, what to expect from my 35 years of living in Southern California, what to expect from that game. But I want to point out a couple of things. Blackledge, today, he was amazed at the push-ups in the stands like it was a new thing. He had never seen it before. Blackledge hates Notre Dame. He's a former Penn State quarterback. He's also a lousy announcer. So let me move off of that. A couple of things I loved about this experience. You pointed out all you need is love, hearing that in the stand. But also, I think it was the second touchdown, the pipe organ in Yankee Stadium playing the victory march. That was awesome.
Oh, that's a cool tone. That's a whole different thing to it. I do think that's nice.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been there with that. And, a couple of things you did not know that happened tonight is when it was 7-0 Vanderbilt, the stands, I think I posted on your Twitter, stands at LSU were chanting "Fire Kelly" as if Trump were in the building and they were saying "F Joe Biden."
Oh, I
heard that too.
I must have missed that or was getting ready for the show. Man, that's rough. So what did you think? What did you?
In the third quarter?
Yeah.
At the end of the third quarter, the stands at LSU there were barren patches with no butts in seats. I'd say about a third empty.
Yeah, it's there's not a lot of excitement in Death Valley, that's for sure. You're right about that. So really good night for Notre Dame here. A lot happened around the country that helps. What do you make for USC? Let's look forward.
Okay. Well, I did live there for 35 years before I moved here to Southern Florida. Unfortunately, too close to that paddle. But anyway, it's going to be almost a Notre Dame home game. The place is not going to be full. And if people are thinking of going, they're wondering about tickets, on game day, you're going to be able to get them for about $30 or $40. If it's raining, you'll get them for $10 or $20. And the best seats you'll find, there's this little turnaround right near the will call ticket up booth. There's a little turnaround. They'll pull in there. It's probably the types like this Pat Hold, it's just called, from PB County. And they go in the turnaround with their convertible Mercedes and their sweater wrapped around their neck, and they're there to sell their tickets because they're not going to the game. They're going to go do a family thing, etc. It's pretty fun. And I make fun of that because I also have a convertible Mercedes, but I'm not that type. But anyway, you can get tickets very inexpensive from them, and those are the really prime seats down in like the row 40 and below, and in the center of the stadium. There are going to be a few hooligans around, so don't go by yourself, or if you do go by yourself, find somebody else that's wearing Irish colors and join in with them and have a great time. When the team is this close, and the last time I remember we were going in, we were just very close to the playoffs. It was Shane Walton. No, it also happened with Manti. That everybody hangs around afterwards, meets the players after. It's a very fun atmosphere because you go into the game knowing you're going to beat them. And if we take care of the ball, we will. It'll be another rocking chair game. Even though I'm a new caller today, I haven't called since yesterday, so I'm a first-time caller today. I said yesterday that that combined games would be 60-point difference. I didn't tell the truth. It's going to be 85-point difference because I think we'll beat USC by 30 if we take care of the football.
Ooh.
Like we did tonight.
Man, it would be this would be the full redemption story, man. That would be it. All the way back from week 2 and a hosting seed, and that's about all you could ask for. Thank you for holding, man. I don't mean to frustrate you. Anything in the way out? I know it's getting late. Well, it is here anyway.
One thing on the way out, on behalf of everybody that keeps things positive and fun around you, especially the dude from LA that called. I love when he's on the line. If I was still out there, I'd love to connect with him, but that'll happen in another lifetime or maybe in a couple of years at a game. Also, let's give a nice recognition to the women's basketball team just throttling USC today.
Yeah.
Number 4 over number 3. But I will say on behalf of everybody, please don't make people wait on line for callers like that. I don't think it's very it's fair, and it's not very fun. And I'm kind of, I know I'm stuttering a little bit, but that's how upset I am of having to have sat through that. I'm not holding it on you. I'm just saying, please be mindful in the future. Don't let those guys piss on our parade. They are the type to give Notre Dame a bad name.
Yeah,
There's only 10% of them.
I'm not happy with the way that went either. But thank you for waiting.
Yeah. Absolutely. God bless you. God bless everybody. Go Army, beat China. Go Irish, beat SC.
Have a good one.
Go Army beat China.
Take care.
That was pretty good. Did I ever tell you my USC when I went out there with my dad in 2006?
What about it?
We were driving to the stadium. It's like 10:30 in the morning. There was a line of prostitutes like out in the open. They didn't wear thongs and stuff. They didn't care about a thing.
You don't see that on Eddie Street.
I was like, I looked at my dad. I was like, Dad, I know there's like prostitution in Chicago and stuff, but like I've never actually seen it before. And my dad goes, he's like,
well, you're getting a lesson today, son.
My dad was a cop for 30 years. He looks and he goes, I haven't seen him like this either.
Jeez. Yeah, you don't get that on Eddie Street going to the Chipotle after the game. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, you guys, we're going to wind down. There's another bank of calls. I went way too long with West Palm. That's my fault. Bad radio discipline. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I got a bunch of articles and videos I got to write the rest of the way. I tried to move it along. And listen, I understand if people are frustrated that I entertain that too long or whatever. Maybe that's my mistake.
You know what, John? He's giving you money to your show. He's called in before, so you know you gave him this. You did the right.
I'm conflicted because he calls and listens regularly.
Yeah,
he donated. He figured out how to get a screen name, and he was donating to the show. But there's certain things I'm fine with, but then there's lines.
Yeah, that was different. That was different. Like it wasn't even a. Like, I mean, all the like the trolls that have called in Commander Luke and stuff, you've had funny conversations with people like that, you know, so it was just different. But anyways, quick programming note, next week, after the USC game, I probably won't be able to be here. I always go out to my parents' house to watch the USC game with my dad, and my brothers will be there. So I probably won't be in a condition to turn on the camera, but we'll see.
Good for you, man. Be with those guys for that moment. And I mean, this is my job. Make me do it. You can go relax, Pat. You know, you're here all the time, getting your stress level up over all this stuff too. Adam Dowling, $10 holler. In what world is Washington, Oregon prime time over NDSC? I guess because Oregon's ranked higher than Notre Dame. I guess like they're the highest. Adam, isn't that the answer? They're the highest ranked team that's being discussed here, I guess. Yeah, dude, Pat, I don't know if I handled that wrong or poorly or whatever.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It went fine. You know what, John? What I do appreciate about it is now we really know. It was kind of just like you let him hang himself. Yes, Phil, country roads on Friday Friday after Thanksgiving. But you just kind of gave him the rope and you let him hang himself. And I would rather know who somebody is for when the next time they call in and want to misquote me or just take a little bit of what I say. At least I know that the person's going to stab me in the back. But otherwise, hey, everyone, great win today. Notre Dame, great weekend for Notre Dame, period. With big losses, SEC teams getting knocked out of the playoff. Notre Dame one step closer. Everyone should be celebrating this one.
Mark with glasses.
Ruin my night.
Don't let anybody, you know, I don't know what to make of it. I feel like man, it just kind of spiraled and then it just kept getting worse. And I just didn't like where it was headed. And it's genuinely it's just not the vibe I want this show to be about. Like, I want all the Notre Dame people to gang up on somebody else. I don't want division within our own group. I'm very frustrated by it. That's just not what I wanted this show to turn into. I'm frustrated it went down that path. So
we had a great show tonight. We had a great win today. The Irish are one step away, boys. They're one step away.
Yeah,
celebrate that.
One away. Anyways, you guys.
Oh, Mark, I have no idea what my blood pressure was, but it was high.
Yeah. But thanks everybody for being here. The calls, the chats, the comments, everything. Just we had a good viewership tonight or whatever. We have one more game to go. So this is going to be an intense week, and the build-up's going to be exciting, and we're going to do our best with it. And this is going to be a big, important week in Notre Dame football. A lot of things could change. What's up?
I just saw Rick James was tripping. All we need is a little bit of unity.
Unity. Welcome to the China Club. A ton of tongue tang. A ton of tongue tang.
Oh, see, Dave Chappelle always puts you in a good spot.
The milk's gone bad, everybody. The milk's gone bad. Darkness, everybody. Darkness is spreading.
Oh, Chappelle.
We
We were so lucky to have Dave Chappelle in our lives.
Yeah, I know.
We were the perfect age for that.
It just hit my legs, Charlie Murphy. What am I gonna do about my legs? It's something about like being 20 years old when that came out. It's burned into my brain. It was just every single one was just perfect. Anyways, all right, you guys, I'm going to write a bunch of articles. Thanks everybody for being here. I'm sorry it got weird. It got really weird. I'm sorry, you guys. I really didn't mean for that. Craig, good to see you, buddy. Love you guys. Go Irish. We got one more week.